Top five, top five, top five.
Yeah, girl, you ready to do this? You ready to count this thing down? We're doing the top five, heard? Yeah, let's set it off with 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ranked Top 5 Lists of Stuff That Don't Matter. I'm your host, Tuong La, and I got a bunch of oldies in the pod cavern today. No, they're not that old, but they're experts in old people and asses, including the first guest I'm going to introduce today, Kristine Shadid, queen of the butts. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
It's me, butt queen.
It's been a while since we've had the butt queen in the pod cavern. How are the butts in the world doing these days?
I think I've got my 3 favorite butts on this Zoom call right here.
You're just sucking up to us before we begin.
Yeah, text your boyfriend real quick and just be like, in your face.
Mark has the 4th best butt, I think.
That's right.
Well, Kristine, I'm so happy to have you here. It's been a hot minute since you've been on Ranked. When was the last episode you were on here? Was it emojis?
Yes, but I did a talking tongue, which was super fun. And I'm going to be honest, I'm here for one reason and one reason only. And it's to get you what you consider arguably a great number 1 on this top 5, because I listened to your whole 100 episode and every single one I did got shit talked into being one of the worst. I'm not lying. All of mine were in the 90s and 80s. And I'm like, you know what? I'm coming. I'm going to give him the best freaking noms I can.
I can't wait. Listen, it's nothing personal. They all made number 1.
No, I heard that a million times, but I still heard you say this is one of those episodes where Kristine weaseled her way into having a stupid nom in the top.
I never said stupid.
Yes, you did.
Said stupid. We can't start like this, Kristine. I love you.
You're right. I'm here for peace, love, friendship, new year, new me.
That's right.
Get ready for a heck of a top 5.
I can't wait. Kristine, can you introduce the next guest, please?
Certainly. The next guest actually dubbed me as King Butt Touches with my own t-shirt that says that very same name, and that is my Spookstober co-captain, Paul JP.
Paul JP, wait a second. What is this shirt? Tell me more about the origins of this shirt.
Oh, Paul, go ahead.
Hello, first of all.
Hello, Paul.
So, one time for Kristine's birthday, or maybe Christmas, I bought her a shirt that said King Butt Touches.
Has a little crown on it.
That's amazing.
It's got a little crown on it.
Yeah.
And that's the story behind that.
Paul, people have never heard your voice on Ranked before. This is your first time ranking stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. I appeared on one episode of Talkin' Tongue a few months ago for some Halloweeny times. And pod cavern completionists might recognize my voice as the host of The Pen is Mightier, which, right. I mean, no offense to all of the other podcasts out there, but it is the greatest podcast in the entire world. So it was only a matter of time before I started to spread to all of the other ones. I recorded a podcast last night. I'm doing this tonight. I'm guesting on a wrestling-themed podcast tomorrow. So it's time to start my slow and sticky spread into the rest of the internet.
I can't believe we're in the Coctagon right now.
You're not in the Coctagon is being cleaned right now.
The Coctagon? I'm missing something here.
The Coctagon, yeah. It is the chamber in which all battles on the Pen is Mightier take place.
Yeah. Very good. I love that name. That's really great. Paul, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're spreading your sticky...
Don't seem sold on liking the name.
Hey.
It felt like you were just trying to move on from the Coctagon.
You know what? Let's spend more time on this.
We're resonating in the Coctagon.
Let's spend more time on this then. Gone. No, I'm done. That's it. That's all I got. Hey, Paul.
Yes.
We can't start this episode without the final guest here. Can you introduce them for me?
Yeah, it's Amanda.
Hi.
Amanda Parker, everyone. Anime expert, volleyball expert.
Thank you. Yes.
What else? Do you also like butts? I feel like there's a theme going on here.
Do I like butts?
Yeah.
Yes. I love a good butt. I've also been told by at least 3 people I have a great one.
Make that 4.
Okay, now.
See, because out of those 3 people, I thought Kristine and I were 2 of them.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, so there's one other guy. That's
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I have a new thing by my desk that this will only be for you guys because you have videos on right now, but for the people at home without it, I have a tape measure next to my desk now. Because I'm trying to order furniture online, but because I have such a small apartment, I have to pre-measure everything to make sure it'll fit.
That's smart.
Now,
though.
every time I fall in love with something on Wayfair, I get out my measuring tape, I get to the floor, I tape it out with painter's tape. It's kind of my new obsession, I'll say.
Yeah.
I've done that.
But make sure it fits through the door, because that's another struggle.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've struggled with that.
Because there was a couch we wanted to buy. This is a little tangent, nothing to do with the actual episode. But we're like, this couch is perfect.
Yep.
And then we looked at our door and we're like, it will not fit through the door. There's no way it can. And it broke our hearts.
At least you knew before you got it. You guys probably know this story, but just in case.
Tell the people.
I spent 2 days plastic wrapping my couch in my old apartment. It did not fit out of my old apartment. It came with the apartment. We're assuming it came in from the balcony. So we had to come up with this pulley lever system to slowly lower this couch down 2 stories. We got it. Best moment of my life. Shortly thereafter, brought it to the new apartment. Did not fit in the door either.
No.
And we made a big mess trying to get it in, and then we didn't have a couch for 3 weeks, and it sucked. So we bought a new one that came in pieces.
That's the way to go. That's the way.
Yeah.
And did you sell the old couch or you just give it back?
Yes. I sold it to a friend.
Get some of that money. Get some of that money in your pockets.
And because it's a friend, I can go sit on that couch pending when the pandemic is over.
Yeah, exactly.
That's smart to outsource your best things to people that will remain in your life.
Yeah. We've gotten
Words
rid
of
of
wisdom.
multiple couches that way.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. We have a very, very important topic today. We've ranked a lot of things. Kristine mentioned 100 things we ranked, and all of Kristine's were bad, but she's here today to come back with a vengeance. And everybody here, in fact, Amanda and Paul. And we were kind of racking our brains because, there's a lot of topics out there that we haven't ranked out yet. And we kind of landed on this one. This was inspired by a good friend of mine, Taylor Fleming, which he found on another podcast. And I was like, I'm going to steal that idea and make it my own, and also throw in some fictional stuff in there. And today we are doing top 5 old people who could kick your ass. Hence the butt talk, all the butt talk today, or more than usual. Let me just ask you guys, because, we had I gave you a list and all this other stuff, but we kind of went back to this topic all the time. What inspired you to do this topic?
What inspired me to go along with this topic was that the rest of you kept bringing it back to this one while I was trying to sort of slowly suggest other ones.
Sounds about right. So
here I am, ready to talk about strong elderly people.
Yeah. Amanda,
Right.
Kristine, how about you? You kept fighting on this to get this topic today. What's the deal?
For me, sometimes I just like to see the chaos. And I thought for this one, I was like, I'm curious to see who we'll go with for old people. I was struggling with the Google, but then I'm like, I want to see what the 3 of you recognize as strength. Because there's many ways to get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, foot is not the only option.
What? That's right. You're right. It's true. It's true. Kristine, how do you feel about that?
I just think as soon as we said it, I had my 3 immediately, and I was done. I didn't want to think anymore.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's come up with some ground rules. I think there are more than I thought there would be for this type of topic. Amanda, you came up with this rule in our chat.
Yeah.
So can you explain this 65-year-old rule here that we got going on?
Oh, yeah. So in the province of Ontario, 65 plus is when you turn 65, and then all your years after that, you now get senior benefits. So it seemed to make sense that since this is a podcast that occurs in Ontario, that we would go by the province's definition of a senior citizen, in which case all of our picks must be over the age of 65 years old.
Perfect. I love it. 64 or under, get out of here. You're not old enough for this list.
Yeah.
You young folk.
Yeah. But since we want to make this is ranked, we always have fictional shit in here. Let's do it. Let's throw in fictional old people into this list. I would also say that I mentioned this to the group that I think 65 years old or whatever is old for that like species, I guess, if it's I use the example of Baby Yoda, who's like, I forget, much older. Let's just say a couple 100 years old. I actually don't remember, but much older.
I believe 50 years old.
Yeah, I thought
Is
he
he
was
50?
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's too young anyway.
He's too young anyways. It wouldn't count. But if he was 65, still be a baby, probably, I think.
Yeah, and the inclusion of fictional characters was very important to me because I thought, if we all had to go around and just submit various people, 65 or older, only real people, then all we were going to get was just a bunch of retired action stars. It's like, okay, so basically we're just discussing which of the Expendables is the strongest.
Yeah.
I push my list under a desk.
So I am going to say, my short list here that I'm going to be picking from and submitting is 10. I have 10 people here that I'm going to be choosing 3 from, and all of them are fictional, just because I found them more interesting.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Liam Neeson.
Well, Liam Neeson might be... Actually, I think he's too young. I think I looked that up today. He's too
Is
young.
he too young?
I think
Liam
he's
Neeson is in
61.
his 70s.
He's
Liam
68.
Neeson's in his 70s?
I think he's like 71.
All right, I'm looking this up.
He's 68. I Wikipedia'd it before this.
Oh, he's 68. Okay, there you
Okay.
go.
Not that he's on my list.
Different list.
I was going to say...
I'm already making enemies here.
I can't wait. We mentioned in our chat, too, before the podcast that there is something called mental ass kicking. Amanda, you brought this up. I want to hear more about this thought process here because I love it.
I just think a mental ass kicking is often when you have like the wise older sage type character. A lot of the times their like power is through their ability to just like jujitsu you out of your negative thinking or kick you into gear to be like, you're a better person now because of my wisdom. Or you now understand you are a waste of space because of my wisdom. Like I think it can be weaponized to help a character or hinder a character.
Sure.
But I just think a mental ass kicking, those are the ones I remember, Those are the ones that those ones will leave scars far beyond.
Sure. In this example, though, I'm curious because I didn't realize that some of the mental ass kicking in your what you just said here was in a positive way. Like you can kick your ass in like, I like that. Like I am inspired. Huh.
It's like any trainer.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
They mentally kick your ass until you physically kick your own. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know.
I've never had a trainer. So.
I play Ring Fit Adventure because you told me to.
Drago's a great trainer. You know this.
He's a great trainer.
He's lots of abs. And my last ground rule I would say is I think, well, it's less of a ground rule. I don't want to set it as a hard rule, but I think the people that we should lean towards are people who have the capability to ass kick, I guess. I'm thinking of like people who are like super, fictional person, like super jacked up, maybe lifts a lot of weights, whatever, over the age of 65, but deep down is just a big softie, doesn't have it in them to actually do any ass kicking. I'd much more lean towards the person on our list who's like, has that like spark in them that would actually, they would see it through. Does that make sense?
If it was a real person.
Fictional too, I guess.
Okay.
If you can like justify it, then I'm fine with it. You know, we're loosey-goosey here.
Okay.
But I think that's it. Shall we just get into it then?
Let's.
Sure.
Let's get into it. Just like every episode of Ranked, we're going to go around 3 times, nominating 3 nominations each, making a master list of 12 and whittling that down to a top 5 list of old people who could kick your ass. Like Paul, I was thinking I would only just do fictional nominations because that's my jam. I live in a very fictional world. But I was starting to think of like some more interesting, I guess, heroes of mine who I grew up with, who are now the age of 65, and I'm like, I bet they could kick my ass. And there's one that I just kept going back to, and this person starred in a bunch of comedy action films, has lots of kung fu karate chops to him, does his own stunts. Maybe that would light up a spark here.
I knew immediately that we have the same person. Go on.
Jackie Chan?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I was about to say, if we're supposed to guess, I knew immediately who you're talking about. I didn't know this was part of the
No,
format.
it's not part of the thing. I just wanted to hype it up for the people at home who might not know who Jackie Chan is, which would be crazy. Jackie Chan is 65. I just looked that up. So he completely fits.
Yep. I had him on my list.
He just got his benefit.
Yeah, congratulations, Jackie Chan. You made the cut for the list. Now, Jackie Chan, okay, so he's a martial artist, he's an actor, he's a stuntman, he's a filmmaker, action choreographer, and a singer. Very, very popular, and has gained a lot of fame in America specifically, and now in recent years he's kind of gone back to his home country, and he's still quite an icon. And in a lot of his more recent films, I think he still does a lot of the more doable stunts. Like, he'll do what he can, but obviously he's put himself through hell in a lot of those movies. I think he's done I don't even remember, but he's done a shit ton of movies where, like, in the outtakes, it's like, oh shit, he really hurt himself after that take, but they keep it in the movie. And yeah, I just feel like he still has it in him to just, kick an ass. So that's my nomination today. Thoughts?
Good nom. I would have done it too.
I've seen it, Tuong. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but my parents and I recently watched a movie called The Foreigner that he's in.
Is that with Pierce Brosnan?
It's with Pierce Brosnan, yeah. But it's his like latest action movie, but he's still, you're watching that man and him in a stairwell just like throwing his body into these scenes and like taking guys out just any way he can. It's inspiring to see, so I think that's a great nomination.
Thank you.
I mean, you say guys, they're all Irish.
Yeah, they're all Irish.
Have you seen The Foreigner, Paul?
I have, and not just because I am a foreigner. It was recommended to me by my roommate, and I watched it, and it was all right.
But how is Jackie Chan in it?
Oh, he was excellent.
There we
He
go.
was.
I think the movie could have used more Jackie Chan. He would disappear for long stretches of time, like into the woods, and then it would just be a bunch of Irish people talking about like, this is really bad, and the Prime Minister is going to be up my ass if we don't catch Jackie Chan in the forest.
He does
And
that.
then-
Oh, go on, Paul.
Oh, well, and then they just, they send out people into the forest to catch him, and, the second act of Rambo happens.
That sounds amazing. I should watch this movie. Is there a favorite Jackie Chan movie that you all have here? If you have
Rush
to
Hour
think
2.
Great pick.
I like The Legend of Drunken Master a lot.
Ooh,
He's
yeah.
very funny in that. But also, he's this is like before he made it over to the States, so he's still like really young and like doing a lot of really crazy martial arts. I'm gonna name check. This doesn't really have a lot to do with him ass kicking, but he was in the remake of The Karate Kid.
Yes.
When it was actually about kung fu, and he was amazing.
I was just going to mention that he was the best part of that entire remake. It was so good.
Just sort of like a surprise to a lot of people. Like, oh shit, he can actually act.
Yeah.
And make you cry with the sad things he says. It's like, yeah, guy knows what he's doing.
Amanda's Foreigner, your favorite Jackie Chan film?
I
bet it's like Around the World in 80 Days.
It's my most recent Jackie Chan film. Like, it's interesting. I admire him as a person, but I wouldn't be like, this is my favorite Jackie Chan movie. Like the Tuxedo, Let's throw that one in there.
Oh my God,
Tuxedo.
I forgot
Let's
about
just throw
that.
that one.
Tuxedo is your favorite Jackie Chan movie.
Oh my God.
I have a big question.
I'm
Or no, I'll let
thinking
this
it's
go.
Jennifer Love Hewitt
Mhm.
and Jackie Chan
Mhm.
about a tuxedo. I mean, that's not even him kicking ass. It's the tuxedo doing all the work.
And I like that he got to, take a day off.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's like he was wearing an Iron Man suit and it did it for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I always like Jackie Chan Adventures as like cartoon.
Oh, right.
So
that
good.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Good.
Anyways, I digress. Look, we can talk more about Jackie Chan later, but of course, Kristine, give us your first nomination here.
Okay, my first nomination was as soon as we'd mentioned fictional characters, because I went all, like, my mind went human, people, real life, whatever. And then as soon as we mentioned doing fictional, I had a thought in my mind, and then I looked into it, and it was like an old memory that I went through, like if your mind was a filing cabinet, I went through the very, very back. And who I am going to throw into the ring today is Robert Freeman, the grandfather from the 2005 Adult Swim's TV series Boondocks.
Interesting. I've never seen this.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Granddad?
Pardon? Granddad, yeah.
Tell
He
me
did
more.
beat a blind guy to death in one episode.
He basically, listen, I looked up, I mentioned him once offhandedly, and then I thought, I'm going to look up if he actually kicks ass, because something reminded me in the back of my mind that he was an intimidating character, and he just whooped everybody with his belt. I understand that maybe the reception of this is not as good as I anticipated, but
It's a really good pick, if you ask
I've
me.
never seen.
Is it?
Boondocks.
I've just never seen it. I think that's probably a great choice. I've just never seen the show.
Can you set it up for me a little bit? Like,
Yeah.
give me why he's.
I can't, because I don't remember it enough.
Paul
I
does.
can try to help.
Please help me, Paul.
So Boondocks is these two children, Huey and Riley, go to live with their granddad and get into sort of various, not adventures. It's a very deeply political show. A lot about sort of the experience of growing up black in America. And granddad is this generally like sort of very goofy, bumbling, horny old man who has no qualms about beating the children with his belt because he's an old-fashioned kind of guy. And then, yeah, occasionally, like there's one episode where a pimp comes to their house whose name is a pimp named Slickback. Not Slickback, his name is a pimp named Slickback. And he disrespects a woman who is in the house, and Granddad Freeman shows that, holy shit, like he is a badass because a pimp named Slickback is about to hit her. And like immediately Granddad's belt is off and he's whipped it and he's caught his hand with the belt. Like it has a lot of like anime influences in terms of like action that happens in the show.
I'm listening.
It's a great thing. I think there were 4 seasons. There were 3 seasons, and then it was off the air for a little bit, and the 4th season came back, and everybody was a little bit down on it. But those first 3 seasons are just incredible.
Yeah, cool. I was just looking at it, and it does look very anime-esque here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's cool. Great nomination, Kristine. Like, it sounds really cool. I just never seen it. I like it.
It's
I like
all
it.
right. You guys have really inspired me to watch more cartoons, more anime. I thought maybe this would be the audience for that.
Hey,
But I'm
maybe this
standing
one's-
by it. He is a badass old man.
I mean,
I'll
you
take
it.
converted
Kick-ass.
Tongue and I to being audiences of it, right? Like we're gonna go and watch it now. So I think
I feel like I should too. Like I haven't seen it since probably 2005. Like, I don't remember much. I just remember that this guy kicked ass.
I'm down for it. Maybe I'll just watch, like, the compilation of him kicking ass.
That's
on
what I did,
YouTube.
which made me put him on the list.
Okay, cool. I'm excited. I like that. Paul, what do you have? First nomination.
Okay. This was a tough one. On this bullet point that I have here, I was torn between 2 specific characters from the same property, and I decided I would go for the Canadian one, the Canadian character. My first nominee is Wolverine.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
How old is
Logan.
he?
Wolverine was born in 1832.
Oh, this is I should have watched X-Men before I asked that question.
So Paul, I'm curious, because we're differentiating between because Wolverine can he lives for a very long ass time.
Yes,
I guess we're talking about his later years, his Logan era, that movie.
Yeah, Logan, Old Man Logan. But I mean, even sort of, if we go back to the '90s cartoon, he's already 100 and some years old.
Yeah,
it's because of his healing factor enables him to live a long time. And so he will live, I believe they think forever, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it would be impossible for anybody who has watched any of the X-Men cartoons, read the comics, seen the movies, any of them to say that Wolverine is not the most ass-kicking character in any of those appearances. And I was torn because the other character that I was going to maybe submit is the one who would always have Wolverine's number, which is Magneto.
Yeah.
But I decided to go for Wolverine because he's sort of more explicitly violent. And also Canadian, so, woo!
Well,
he also seems like he would have a temper. Despite all of those years on Earth, he still has massive rage issues.
Famously has some problems with that.
Has a temper till his dying moments, many times.
Yeah. So can and will kick your ass.
Definitely recommend the original run of Old Man Logan, the comics. Beautiful, amazing story. It's really, really good. And even the movie, with Hugh Jackman, Logan the movie,
Logan
incredible.
Really good.
Yeah.
Anything I wanted from an R-rated superhero movie.
Exactly. So good. Amanda, how are you going to top that?
Yeah, how am I going to top that?
So mysterious.
Okay, so one of my nominees is I was sort of thinking about someone that I would if she kicked my ass, it would be my icebreaker at every party moving forward, just to interact with her. But I think Jane Fonda.
I had her down.
Badass.
Yes.
There was with the year, there's been a lot of postings of her work as an activist for the past 40 years. And she's just the kind of woman you watch and you're like, you have never let anyone stand in your way, ever.
She got zip tie handcuffed 4 days in a row last year.
What?
Yeah.
And she would be like, hell yeah.
No, she just keeps putting herself on the front lines. And I'm like, that's the kind of badass that I feel no, there's not a role where she's showing that off. But the fact that she's living that life is maybe the greatest role of all. And there's also, I remember before the pandemic when I was watching, maybe we all watched the Oscars, where Parasite pulled off that incredible run. And I've rewatched that Best Picture moment of her taking a moment. She reads it's Parasite and then she just looks out at the audience being like, you're about to have your minds fucking blown. Just Parasite, it's so good. And she just handles every moment of, I don't know, just gravity with such badassery.
Jane Fonda, for those of you who don't know, actress, is there, let's see here. I can't even think of a Jane Fonda movie right now. Or
Monster-in-Law.
Thank you. Grace and Frankie, is she that?
Yeah, she's that.
She's that?
I think the moment of hers that most saturated into pop culture was when they referenced her in the classic song Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, you see a girl who rolls a Honda plays workout tapes by Fonda.
By Fonda.
But Fonda ain't got a motor in the back of her Honda. Well...
My anaconda don't want
so what
none
you're
unless
saying
you got
is
buns, hon.
that not only does she kick ass, she has a great one.
Oh, probably.
I think they're trying. Sir Mix-a-Lot in the song is trying to say Jane Fonda's ass isn't big enough for me. And I think if Jane Fonda ever met Sir Mix-a-Lot,
she'd kick his ass.
She'd kick his ass.
She'd break his fucking neck.
I believe that.
So I'm wholeheartedly on board with Jane Fonda.
I love it. Great nomination, Amanda. Let's go to round two, everyone. Round two, here we go. Okay, so I want to go with a fictional nomination, and I feel like I tend to, or I've said some of these names in past episodes, and I want to give a shout out to maybe one that I don't usually lean towards, even though I love this show. I am talking about Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, who's 70 years old.
I didn't even think about that one. That's a good one. He can kill. Yeah.
Also known as Rick C-137. He kicks everyone's ass.
Likely almost all of his iterations could probably kick ass.
Well, he's always the one, because all of the other Rick Sanchez's in the other Rick universe, or Rick and Morty universe, like he's the one who always comes out on top, you know? So there's a lot of episodes where the Council of Rick is after him, and he's like, nah way, man. And he ends up just killing a bunch of dudes, using his portal gun, sending baddies to a different dimension, whatever it is, doesn't matter. He doesn't take no shit from nobody, probably because he's drunk most of the time. That's my nomination. Yeah.
What I like about this nomination is he can kick ass in a couple of different ways. One, with his like tools that he has invented, and two, with like his fists. Like he has kicked ass both ways, I think. So I like this nom. That's a good one.
Yeah, and he's really smart too, and he has a lot of mind fuckery too. Like he tends
Parker, you like that?
I do like mind fuckery.
Yeah, well, he kicks Morty's ass all the time by just
he kicked that family's ass into dysfunction. That's for sure.
That's right. Rick Sanchez, everyone. That's my nomination.
Good nomination.
Paul, do you watch Rick and Morty? What's your take on this?
I do watch Rick and Morty. Yeah, I do. I'm of two minds because on one hand, yes, everything you just said is perfectly true, and he fits excellently into this list, onto this bracket. On the other hand, I'm a contrarian, and
tell me.
And Rick and Morty might be, sort of in the last 5 years of my life, the only piece of pop culture that I now am kind of like upset that I like it.
Yeah.
Because
the fan base ruined it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I know. But
I worked at McDonald's right around the time of the whole Szechuan sauce thing.
Okay, so it's dead to Paul.
Oh, wait. I need to hear this. Tell the people. Give us the Cliff Notes version of the Szechuan sauce.
I mean, in one episode, he references that he really wants Szechuan sauce to come back to McDonald's. And then McDonald's announced, like, we're bringing it back for, like, a limited thing, like, one day only. And, of course, hundreds of screaming, crying man-children descended on their local McDonald's. They sold out of the Szechuan sauce immediately. And there's now countless videos on the internet of them like climbing up on the counters, screaming and crying at minimum wage employees, like demanding sauce that they don't have. Wow. And that happened while I was working at McDonald's.
Fuck. Well,
I will say though that the creators, Dan Harmon, have said to that fan base, "You guys are fucking idiots. Do not be like this. This is a fictional show, and Rick is the bad guy. He's an anti-hero. He's not someone to aspire to be. He's someone that you should look at as a lonely, sad old man who's trying to make himself better. That's the whole like journey he's on. So I feel like if there was justice in this world, Rick would teleport to this world and kick all of his fans' asses. He would.
And he wouldn't care about it too. He would just do it and he'd be like, fuck you guys, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. He would buy McDonald's. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Well, that sucks that happened to you, Paul, but I'm not surprised. Because I will say right now, Rick and Morty fans, just like Star Wars fans, I'm both of those things. Those like hardcore fans, the worst people out there.
Everybody just like chill a little and let everybody go back to enjoying things.
Yeah, that's right. Kristine, what do you have?
I'm going to give an old faithful, an obvious answer for me. The biggest Rocky fan you guys know, I'm going to throw Sylvester Stallone in the ring because...
At his age, you're going to throw him into a ring.
He would do it. Have you seen this Rocky Balboa, the sixth one? Because he took it all the way to the end. He was in his 60s.
No, I haven't. You are the only one who's ever seen that movie.
I have not. But I have it if anybody wants to watch. So I was thinking about the whole action movie star thing. And yes, we could just go ahead and name all these people who got, fit for a movie. I saw a list that was cool that was like people who are actually tough or people who only play tough. And so it was cool.
That's cool.
But my thought to Sylvester Stallone was he wrote Rocky because he was boxing and he wanted to be a star, but also he was a boxer. So he can fight, and he's continued to train in his fighting, and he's continued to work out and get buff and do a million Expendable movies and do a million things. But he's also a really nice guy who just goes to museums and does films himself at a museum going, look at this nice painting. And I don't know, he's so cute and I love him. And I also think if he needed to and anybody crossed his beautiful family, he would kick their ass.
Yeah,
so,
but we're talking about Sylvester Stallone. We're not talking about Rocky.
No, we're talking about Sylvester Stallone here.
Perfect. Just wanted to make that clear.
But you must know
Rocky's
as well.
never been to a fucking museum.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
He gets to the top of the stairs at the museum and then comes back down.
And then he goes back down. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but he resonated so much with the character Rocky when he wrote it. So when you say Sylvester Stallone versus Rocky, they're very much the same. Sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah. There are some things that are obviously different and had continued to become different as more movies came out and the Creed movies came out because he wasn't writing those ones. And I think
Creed's
he stopped
really good,
after.
though.
Creed's really good though.
Creed's really fucking good.
Really fucking good. But no, I think he has got that eye of the tiger. So I'm throwing Sylvester Stallone.
Oh,
I see what you did there. I see
Thank
what you did.
guys.
I'm going to give you that. Kristine, what is your favorite Rocky line? Go.
I must break you.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
not even Rocky.
Not even Rocky. He is on my unmentioned list though, but he's not 65.
Sylvester Stallone, how do you feel? I mean, we all knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming from
We all knew it was
Kristine.
coming.
I was going to say, and I'm like, that would be mean to take that
It
away
would be.
from
I would take
Kristine.
Jackie Chan right after though. I'd be like, I know I'm going to take this
Thank
from
you.
you.
Amanda Paul, are you surprised with the Sylvester Stallone nomination?
Not surprised
No.
one bit. Not surprised one bit there. I respect it, and I can see him making it a long way in this competition. I think his voice also just evokes watch your mouth. If I heard that
So you're
voice-
back in the mind fuck zone.
I am. No, but if truthfully, if he said, if you said something to Sylvester Stallone, I think he'd be like, I don't have patience for this.
I mean, his voice evokes watch your mouth, but it also evokes watch his mouth because you can't understand a fucking word he's saying.
He's gotten better. He's gotten better.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
You ever seen Judge Dredd starring Sylvester Stallone and Rob Schneider?
No? Should it be on the list?
No.
Okay.
Famously very, very bad. It's Judge Dredd in the comics, basically the most identifiable thing about him is his helmet, and he never takes it off. You never see his face. And so, of course, when Sylvester Stallone decided to play Judge Dredd, the first thing he did was you have to, I'm going to take this helmet off immediately and then not wear it. So it's just Sylvester Stallone's face throughout the whole movie. And everybody was like, this fucking sucks. And then they gave him the wacky sidekick played by Rob Schneider in this famously violent comic book series.
I do want to add something though, because I don't want to just talk about Rocky. Yes, Rockies are my favorite series, but also I should mention for the hardcore fans out there, he was Rambo, and that's awesome as well. And I think what Parker would appreciate more than anything is that he was in Spy Kids 3D.
Start with that, Kristine.
He played 4 characters? I don't know. I think once I was flipping channels once and it was on and I was like, is that him? Anyways, it was a moment. You can enjoy that and know that he'll kick your ass at this age.
And
Fantastic.
he was in Ants.
Yeah. Was he the buff guy?
Ants?
The buff ant?
He was the buff ant who was Woody Allen's friend.
He was like the Kronk of ants.
Sort of.
Yeah.
He was a good guy the whole time.
He was nice.
Kronk started as a bad guy and then sort of
But
became good.
He didn't know any better.
No, that's true.
Ants is so creepy.
Ants is
Ants is a
creepy.
very creepy
They have
movie.
a weird, their faces look like whatever The Weeknd did to his face the other day.
Yeah.
Good analogy. I love it.
Ooh.
Paul, what
Hi.
Spy Kids 3D actor are you going to choose?
I mean, I guess in response to that question, I should say Danny Trejo.
That's a good
He
one.
is in that movie.
Here's the thing, Danny Trejo, an old guy. Danny Trejo is going to be an honorable mention for me because he's a real person. He's not a fictional character like I chose my whole list. But Danny Trejo, is like an ex-con for like gang violence in Mexico, and then like turned it around and became this like movie star, and you see him in a whole bunch of stuff. He works more than anybody.
Sons of Anarchy.
He's in everything.
He's in everything, and the one thing that he always makes sure that is written in is that if he is playing a bad guy, that bad guy has to die, because he wants all, like in his hometown where he's like a hero, he wants all of the kids to see, if you're a bad guy, bad things are going to happen to you.
I love that. I didn't
That's
know
really
that.
cool. Wait, but
So
he's
Danny
not your
Trejo-
nomination.
Danny Trejo's not my nomination.
Wow.
It feels like he should be.
He got Animal Crossing at the beginning of the pandemic, and he was posting his like island code and being like, "I don't know how to play. Come over."
I fucking
It was
love
really
that.
cute.
I saw that. That's amazing.
This is tough because there's a lot of people that I want to submit. So I'll choose Alfred Pennyworth from Batman.
Oh.
I forgot he would even. Yes. How old is Alfred? Do you know? Like, I know there's obviously
He's in his
different
70s,
ages and
I
stuff,
think.
but
Old enough to be played by like 4 or 5 different very old men, and various
four or five Michael Caines.
half of whom are dead now.
for the layman, who is Alfred Pennyworth? What's his deal?
Alfred Pennyworth, to the untrained eye, is simply Bruce Wayne's butler. But he does so much more, obviously. He helps with reconnaissance and intel on all of Batman's operations. And the reason that he is able to do that is because he used to be in the British Special Forces, and he would, for real, kill Nazis. So that's why I like him, because fuck Nazis. But we've also seen, in Batman the Animated Series, and we've seen in various comics that Alfred Pennyworth can still, like, deal out punishments.
Didn't he beat the shit out of Superman?
Alfred?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Did he? That's amazing.
I did research. I had him too. And it says he took a special super pill that temporarily gave him Kryptonian strength, and he beat up Superman.
Wow.
Nice.
Fucking, yeah, see, there you go. Like, Superman's just strong, but Alfred, with Superman's powers, also has the edge of Special Forces training.
Yep.
This is so fucking, what a surreal, like, conversation you would have as, like, a 14-year-old. It's like, oh, but he's got the Special Forces training, so he'd be able to beat up Superman. Goku would stand, my favorite little sequence from comics that really demonstrates what a cold, like ice cold badass Alfred is a villain manages to break into the Batcave, and Alfred catches him and says, like, well, I mean, as we both know famously, Batman doesn't kill. And then he pulls out a shotgun and says, I labor under no such rules. And then fucking shoots him.
Oh, wow.
Bad as hell.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
Alfred Pennyworth. Oh, boy.
Good nom. Good nom.
Fucking
Good
love
nom.
it. I
It's
love
really
it.
tough because now I've got 8 names left on this list, and I have to choose one of them. So
That's the tough love of ranked, baby. No, I love Alfred's a real. I didn't even consider Alfred. That is a really good nomination there. Didn't he get his own show? Is there like a CW show or something called Pennyworth or something like that? Is that
there
ringing a
might
bell?
be like
There
a
is,
spin-off
yeah,
of
there
Gotham.
definitely is. But I think it's as him like younger, like when he's in his special forces training.
Oh,
Right.
He's not old enough. Not old
No.
enough for this list.
Not
Not
in
yet.
that show, but we have enough evidence of him being old and still able to kick ass.
That's right. That's right. Excellent nomination, Paul. I love it. Amanda, how are you going to top that?
I'm gonna come at you with an oldie but a goodie, also in the fictional world.
We're all oldie.
Series that I finally finished
Ew.
this last year in 2020 that I'd put off for far too long. Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I'm gonna have to nominate Uncle Iroh because
Oh my God.
I think he's just one of the most incredible characters given to storytelling. And particularly, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched, there's a moment where he's been in jail for quite some time, and you just think he's this like disheveled old man. He's lost all hope. there's no way this firebender could resurrect himself. And they just do this reveal of him taking off his like shawl, and he's just like ripped to pieces. Like,
okay, now I know why Parker picked him.
And he just flings the cell door off, and it's just a moment of like, he was so, because up to this point, and he was actually the character that made me think of like, you can kick someone's ass verbally versus physically, because I'd say the first half of the series, he's just concerned with verbal ass whoopings, where at this point in the series, they're like, oh no, he could also get super buff and knock out a bunch of guys. And I think he's just an incredible guy, and I love him.
And he's so nice.
So nice.
It's I think last time we were on a podcast together, Amanda, we were talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'm glad you brought it back, because that show is amazing and not enough people have seen it.
A lot of people got into it this summer. It was like one of the most watched shows on Netflix.
Up on Netflix.
Perfect co-viewing. Like there's something for everyone in that show.
Oh, I don't like that you said that.
Why?
Co-viewing?
Co-viewing, yeah.
Is that in the lexicon now?
What? Sorry, so co-viewing is a term that is for families. So it's like parents and children can enjoy watching it together.
Oh, okay. See,
You
I
thought
thought
it was
it was
like
a portmanteau of COVID and viewing.
Oh, no.
No, that's vid viewing.
I thought it was just like two people, like colleagues viewing. So I was going to say, yeah, anytime we go to the movies together, we're co-viewing.
This is a little children's media conversation. It's co-viewing is when you have a show that's like, oh, there's stuff for the Generation Z, there's stuff for boomers, there's stuff for millennials.
Amanda, your degree is showing.
I know. Thank you.
My degree is I paid 20,000 Canadian dollars to learn how to pretend to be the color red.
And it's working, buddy.
It's working. You look it.
You're killing it.
Also, Kristine, I realize you probably haven't seen Avatar, so please add this to your watch list.
Yes.
Amanda, as my anime consultant, I will add this to my list. You said it was on Netflix, or shall I continue to use your Funimation
It is
account?
on Netflix. It's actually one of the few. It's like Western made.
Okay.
Yeah,
Also, I'm Googling him, and he looks very nice.
If you feel like you don't have time to watch the entire series, M. Night Shyamalan made a movie, so you can just watch that and get paid.
Don't you
dare, Kristine.
Don't. It's bad.
It's basically all the same
more
beats.
than bad.
It's worse. It's insulting.
It's so bad.
Just
Kristine,
neatly compressed into about 2 hours.
I also think I would say too.
If
a little bit of time on a Saturday.
on M. Night Shyamalan, I'm gonna watch The Sixth Sense. I'm
True.
sorry, I'm not gonna watch literally anything else he's done.
I also feel
and that was it.
And Tuong Paul, you let me know. I also feel like if any show was going to successfully fill the gap that My Hero Academia leaves, Avatar: Last Airbender is probably as good as you're going to get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't have to talk about anime all day because we already did a podcast on that. And I nominated Avatar: Last Airbender, and everyone's like, that's not an anime. And I'm like, what? So that is a different conversation. But the show, it's in the guise of a kids show, I guess. And I'm not trying to sell it short, but you're like watching, you're like, I guess it's good for kids. But then you watch it more and you're like, holy fuck, like this is like really real character development. And it's incredible, like really cool martial arts animation. And it's kick-ass. I love it. Great nomination. Uncle Iroh is, he's such a sweetheart and a badass. So let's go into the final round here. The final round. I'm having a hard time because there's so many nominations. I'm like, do I go with like a fictional one where there's like a lot of ass kickers out there, or do I go with a real person? I'm really having a hard time. I feel like I'm gonna go with a real person, and I'm gonna go with somebody. Okay, there was a scenario in Northampton, England, where 6 men in scooters, they rode up to a Rolex store, and they were like trying to break in. They're like trying to like bash the windows and do all this other stuff. Here comes Ann Timpson in her 70s, who is like what's going on over there? Is someone getting beat up? So she starts running towards these people, and then she realizes that it's not someone getting beat up, but that's like 6 people are here to rob a store, and she gets even more angry. So what she does is she grabs her purse, which is full of a bunch of shit, and she starts wailing on these people that have, like, you know, dangerous weapons to break into a Rolex store and all this stuff. She kicks the shit out of all of them. They all run away. One person falls down and isn't able to, like, get up, kind of thing. And the cops manage to catch all of these people, basically. And I thought that was like a harrowing story of this old lady who's like, what the fuck's happening? I'm just going to take it upon my own hands and just kick ass. And she does.
That's so cool.
Right?
That's awesome.
I didn't know about this. I Googled her. They call her Super Gran.
Yeah. I think it's just like a really neat story. It's like, oh shit, like she could have been in real danger, obviously, but I mean, the other robbers didn't attack her back. She just ended up kicking ass. So
right, but could she beat Wolverine?
Could she beat Wolverine with a purse? Probably.
You know what's making me laugh though? Googling pictures of her. So in the way that anytime Sylvester Stallone poses for a photo with a fan, he lifts up his fist as though he's like gonna punch him. She does that, but with her purse, like she's gonna wail him.
Fuck it.
Now, Tuong, you said that she thought somebody was getting beat up, and then when she found out they were trying to rob a Rolex store, she got more angry.
That's what I read, or I saw a news video that said that, and I'm like, that seems interesting. So you're more interested on the jewelry store?
I'm interested there, yeah, because, you know, if she's more angry by a Rolex store getting robbed than she is about bodily harm being inflicted on an innocent person, then she sounds to me like nothing but a capitalist pig. And I can't wait to see her get guillotined.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I found a pull quote of what she thought in the moment.
Oh,
Go ahead. Let's do it. Let's hear it.
I basically ran up and clobbered them. All I could think of, or hold on. I was just standing in the street talking to a lady when I heard this revving sound and saw what I thought was a group of boys attacking another lad. So I basically ran up and clobbered them. All I could think of was if it was my son being attacked. People keep saying I sprinted up to the robbers, but I can't sprint. My knees are too wobbly. I'd say it was more of an amble at a reasonable speed. The only reason I could do it at all was because that morning I'd put my support bandages on both my legs in preparation for my afternoon dancing class. I realized once I got close that they were robbing the jewelers, but I was in full flight. I couldn't have stopped even if I wanted to. Stop it, I shouted. And then when one of them tumbled over, I shouted to all the people standing there, sit on him, sit on him. I missed as many as I hit, but all I could think of was, how dare they do such a thing? And in broad daylight, too? The audacity of those people was beyond belief.
I love her. I love her.
I love her.
Clearly can beat up Wolverine. That's my answer to you, Paul.
I think there's also like a shock factor of a, Super Gran running towards you with her purse. Well, you're not gonna like attack back. You're gonna be like, I'm so sorry.
You'd be like, oh, I don't know what to do. Ann Timpson, everyone. Kristine, final nomination.
I love that. Okay. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, so we've got real, fake, fake, real, fake, real, fake, fake, real. Ah, damn, it's too even to know. Okay, I'm gonna go with a stretch here because I think we have a lot of good ones, and I wanna honor this person. So I'm shouting out an actress, but not her as a person necessarily. But I'm shouting out 4 of her characters within the same series of a TV show.
Interesting.
I'm going to shout out all of Jessica Lange's characters in American Horror Story.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
See, Parker's with me. She plays 4 different characters in 4 different seasons. Now, American Horror Story, if you haven't seen it, each season is a different theme, story, different cast. But they usually use, like, same people. Yes, it's an anthology of horror stories. So the first one is, like, it's a haunted house, and she's this, like, evil neighbor who's got like her kids are ghosts and her like she sends them in to like mess with everybody's stuff and she's like very horrible and abusive. Then in the second one it's in an asylum and she is like this hardcore like sister who like kills people and just like really just is horrible to everybody. Like everybody's terrified the second she walks in. She can kick everybody's ass within the asylum. Then she's the freaking supreme witch of the coven in the third season. So with just a flick of a finger, you're dead. Like she can kick anybody's ass. And then she's like a washed up star, but she's also just powerful and like mind fucks you. But this is at a circus. It was also very cool. Anyways, I wanted to find a way to throw her in there, but I knew it was a weird one. But I thought, you know what? We've got a lot of really good ones. I want to be able to honor how strong and badass every single character Jessica Lange played in American Horror Story is.
I'll take that. I mean, do we... Since you're nominating 4 characters, like, you know... do you want me to select one? Do you have one that you would nominate? Yeah.
Okay, I'll take when she's the Supreme in Coven because she's a witch.
Okay, and you love witches, so...
I love witches.
Hocus Pocus. Amanda, you've seen American Horror Story.
Yes, I have because of Kristine.
Okay. I see a pattern here. You just recommend shows back to one another.
Yes.
It's a good relationship.
It is.
How is Jessica Lange in her supreme witch mode?
Jessica Lange is incredible in that series. And I understand where Kristine is coming from because I think it's almost like I think what she wants to nominate is just this through line of Jessica Lange bringing high status to every character she plays on that show. Mm-hmm. And you could because she's such an incredible actress, she is able to bring different types of strength and intimidation each time she steps into that role. Because she's very much like, you're the matriarch again of this series. Like, you're the most powerful person in the room at any point. But every time she does it, it feels so different and new. And you fear her for different reasons. You fear her in a different way. Like, it's a different look. It's a different smile. There's such a wealth of acting ability in her, so I really understand where Kristine's coming from.
I'll take it all then.
In having all 4.
I'll take it all. I feel like that will just enhance the nomination, make things a little bit more juicy for when we're ranking stuff. Yeah, and I like that reasoning. Thank you for
backing me up there, Parker. That was really nice.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, Amanda, without you, I would have just shut this down right away. No, I think that that makes sense to me, that this one actress brings this type of energy to the same series, and it's an anthology, so it kind of like still fits in my brain, just enough.
I can't say her as like an actress because I'm not gonna say her in Tootsie really intimidated me, or Paul that begs to differ maybe. But yeah, she's a terrifying being within this series, and a person who the second she walks in the room, you're like, I better be on my best behavior or I'm dead.
There's also something about, like, to your point, talking of it being an anthology series, and it's like the fact that this like soul keeps getting reborn, but it just keeps becoming the same like badass character. It's like, oh, now she's gonna be a school marm, and it's like, no.
Is that the premise? Is like a rebirth every single season kind of thing, or like what's that?
So they like every season is a different
scenario, whatever
scenario. So it's Haunted House is the first one. She's in it. There's a few other actors who are still in second season. Some of those actors go into it as well. Now, the Haunted Mansion house, nobody remembers it. It's not a part of this story anymore, this universe. It's dead. Mm-hmm. Now we're in an insane asylum. And everybody there is brand new characters. And then, okay, that season's done. Okay, now it's a coven, and it's a whole bunch of witches studying to be witches. And we need a new Supreme to take over the last one because she's going to die eventually. And then it goes on to the next one. And it's just none of them are connected to the previous one. But it's a lot of the same actors. Sometimes there's a reference, like, if like Easter eggs of this character was in that one, or that character knew that person through this, that. If you really, really want to do the whole like string and on the corkboard thing and figure it out, you can. But it's not necessary. What's necessary to know is the stare that Jessica Lange gives into the camera is terrifying.
Okay, I'm going to look up that stare on the break. Yeah, I'll accept it all. Jessica Lange in American Horror Story. Paul, what do you have? Final nomination here.
Well, I'm just going to preface this by saying that I think Kristine is a rascal for sneaking 4 nominations into one, and I think she should be disqualified. But yeah, fuck, this is really tough because I've got.
Just talk about this ahead of time. I could have covered like all of your guys's, and you could have done twice as many people.
I could have done twice as many. Wow. Like I know we're going to do honorable mentions at the end, so I am going to be able to name check all of these people. Yes. But it's just a matter of I'm torn. I have 8. I actually added another one while we were talking.
It's the struggle of ranked. Sometimes we nominate the wrong ones.
You got this, Paul.
Do I go for the one that I know all 3 of you are going to be on board with, or do I go for the one that's true to my heart?
That's the question every episode.
Okay, but I'm asking you, actually.
I don't know. I mean, whatever you think is best for the list, but also that makes you feel good about it afterwards. So it's hard to say. There's really no wrong answers because it doesn't matter.
Yeah. If you think you can fight for the one that's true to your heart, I'd say go for that one. But just be ready to fight.
But also if you want to pander,
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for pandering.
I'm panderable.
Yeah.
Pander really hard, but I think I'm going to go with what's in my soul.
Yes. Show it to us.
My spirit. My third and final nominee is Jason Voorhees.
Okay,
baby.
Okay, I love it. How old is
Jason Voorhees? Well, he's a zombie now, so he's not really.
He says he was born in 46.
Like, I just want to know that he's considered.
Years old.
Okay. I'll take it.
But he became a zombie in the 80s. 80s? When did number 6 come out? Might have been the early 90s. But I think it was the 80s. Jason Voorhees, I mean, of all the horror franchises that are out there, are your Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Saw, Child's Play, Leprechaun. Jason Voorhees has far and away the highest body count. He's the killingest killer of all. He has never been truly stopped, except for that one time they launched him into space. And he was already a zombie, so he didn't die from being in space, but he did get burned up on re-entry. But his mask survived and landed in Crystal Lake. He, in a head-to-head fight with Freddy Krueger in Freddy vs. Jason, normally you'd think like, oh, they could cop out and not actually have one of them be the winner, or maybe they'll like team up or whatever. No, Jason won. Jason defeated Freddy Krueger. So even there, like, you can't stop him with weapons. You can't stop him with your fists, because a guy tried to box him in Friday the 13th Part 8, and Jason literally punched his head off. And you can't stop him with dream magic, because Freddy Krueger tried and he lost. The only way he has ever truly been stopped is by launching him through the Earth's atmosphere. And not even like out of Earth's atmosphere. They had to launch him back in. So,
but Jamie Lee Curtis kicks his ass in the latest one.
You're thinking of Michael Myers, my friend.
I am thinking of Michael Myers.
And not only that, Michael Myers escaped in the latest one.
You're right. So Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees. I mean, obviously Jason wins, but how does he win? I want to see it.
He chops off Michael Myers' head with a machete.
Perfect.
Creative.
Yeah. And we know that Jason Voorhees, like, he ain't give a shit if you're like differently abled or anything, because in the second one he hit a wheelchair kid in the face with a machete and pushed him down a flight of stairs.
Oh my god.
The stairs part was a little unnecessary because probably he was already dead.
They just had to show it.
And then the other thing that we know is that in that movie, one of the only characters who survived was named Paul. So we also know that Jason Voorhees has good taste in names.
Oh.
This is why you like him. It's all coming together. It's all coming
I love
together.
whenever Paul talks about Friday the 13th because it's like me talking about Rocky.
I was just going to say that. It's the same thing.
True.
Tongue had me on Talking Tongue in October to talk about Hatchet, a different movie.
Great movie.
And I spent the entire episode talking about Friday the 13th.
It's true. Maybe we watch them all for Talking Tongue next year. Whatever. That's a future episode. Amanda, this is the final nomination. How do you close this bad boy?
It's hard. Can I say we've made it tough. I have a few names on my list, but I think I'm gonna go with this nominee because I can remember from a young age being like, oh yeah, fuck, don't want to mess with him, and that's Zeus. The god.
You don't want to cross paths with Zeus?
Hang on, is this Zeus from like the Disney Hercules movie?
Yeah, is there a version of Zeus?
Or is it like the god?
I love the thought of child Amanda Parker terrified of the Greek god Zeus. I don't know much because I'm 5, but I know that I don't want to mess.
So does he fall into real people or fictional characters?
The fear was real. The fear was real. I just remember watching because I started watching just shows and like played games with like Greek mythology elements, and I just feel like the more I learned about Zeus, the more it became like apparent that he had a horrible temper, much like our previous nominee, Wolverine, and could like the idea of being a god and being like, I have to take out these personal issues with the sheeps of earth. And at that point, we the sheeps, you know? So I just feel like he could and has kicked humanity's ass for centuries. And despite, we moved on from the multi-god system, we tried to make it singular. Zeus is still hanging around in the mythos. You know, you can't get him gone. He comes back every decade in a new movie, in a new book, in a new video game. He's hanging on for dear life.
He's in like 4 video games from last year.
Every time he comes back, it's like, oh, he's the big daddy. Like no one has come along to dethrone Zeus. So that the big guy in the sky gets my nom.
That's not true. Hades did it once in 1997.
Oh,
James Woods.
Well, you know, you don't have to know everything about the character to nominate them. So that.
All right. Well, I have another point of order.
Let's hear it.
How old is Zeus?
Yes, I was just about to ask that. Like, is he old? Is he an old person?
Yes. I mean, he's not going to be young if every iteration of him has a white beard. I don't think it's early onset white beard. Like, nah, this guy's old. This guy's for sure old.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So did you go on like a Greek mythology binge, or did you just think about Zeus? Because I'm pretty sure there's a god of strength and it's not him.
Yeah, no, I just think Zeus is like a character for me that I'm like, when I think of old age, I think like, you stereotypically white hair.
When you think of old age, you think of Zeus.
But when you say that, I'm picturing of like the Hercules Zeus. Like that is that who you're picturing when you think of Zeus?
I never knew my grandpa. I thought it was.
Just like a full beard, but like also someone who I'm like, oh, because that's the thing is then it's like old age could also take me into the Santa Claus realm. But then I
was about to ask about Santa.
We have to stay with someone who could kick your ass, and it's like that is the god of thunder, you know?
So if you put Zeus and Santa in a room together, you're more scared of Zeus.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I think Santa...
Why are they in a room together?
Santa can forgive. Zeus does not.
I'd like to hear from the council over here, because I think it's a hilarious nomination, but I'm having a hard time figuring out Zeus's age besides the picture in my mind of just Hercules Zeus. Is he over the age of 65 or just, is he old, I guess, is the question.
So looking it up, it says he's 13.8 billion years old.
Okay, so we just make it.
Okay, but these things are, we already established these things are relative, right?
Yes.
Because Baby Yoda.
Oh, correct.
So is he old for being a god? Do gods age?
That seems old, because what, like BC is
Before Christ.
before Christ?
British Columbia.
Like, would Jesus and God not be younger than Zeus?
I mean, Jesus would be because he was just a human.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look up the age of Tate Donovan, who played the voice actor for Zeus in Disney's Hercules.
Okay.
It wasn't Rip Torn?
Nope. Oh, that was Hercules. My mistake. Off we go. Rip Torn. You're right. He is
Dead.
dead.
No. Okay, I shouldn't laugh at that.
I didn't know.
Amanda, I love your enthusiasm for this nomination. I really do, but I need to. I do, because Zeus. I mean, I just played Hades, the video game. It's fucking fantastic, and Zeus is a crazy, amazing god in that game, and he's terrifying. He's very horny, which is an MO of Zeus in actual Greek mythology. Just fucks everything he sees in whatever form he wants.
Yep.
But I'm having a hard time saying like Zeus is an old guy. I guess like he is always portrayed as a guy with like a white beard, but I always just thought he was just a guy, like a god with a white beard, and there was no real age attached to it. So
Kind of like how Steve Martin's hair went white real early.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Zeus is the Steve Martin
Of the gods of Greek mythology.
So I asked Kristine and
Also really good at banjo, but nobody knows really about that.
he is good. Kristine and Paul, I would like to hear from the council of Ranked here of today's episode. Do we accept Zeus as a nomination?
I mean, I raised the initial point of order. I think we know where I stand on this. I believe that Zeus as a god is by definition ageless. So
Okay, Kristine.
This is a hard one. I don't know. This is a very like, yeah, I don't know how old he is. I agree with what you were saying earlier, Tuong, of, I just think he's, not necessarily an old guy, just a guy with a white beard. And all that I've seen of him is him in statue form.
Are you sure? Yeah.
yeah, everybody who's a statue has a white beard.
Because they only have
They're all made of marble.
marble.
I think
But also, I don't know. I love that this was, Parker's thinking of when she was younger and the old people who she was scared of would kick her
She was
ass.
afraid of.
Were you Some people are scared of the dark. Amanda's scared of the mythical god Zeus.
Daddy,
Were you
can
scared of
step in my
thunderstorms?
closet for Zeus?
okay, Amanda.
Zeus isn't in there, Amanda.
I have something that is going to spear Paul through the heart.
Okay.
To keep to your age limit, I nominate Liam Neeson as Zeus in Clash of the Titans.
She had this in her back pocket the whole fucking time.
Oh, it's such a shame, though, because Clash of the Titans came out in 2012 when Liam Neeson was only 60 years old.
Oh, no.
Why can't it not have to be the
I
age
hate watching this.
played the movie? Not the he's still Zeus. It's still on his resume that he was Zeus. It's like he's now 60.
He's still Zeus. Zeus is still ageless and still disqualified.
This is amazing. I love this. I will say, Amanda, I love your spirit in this.
Okay, you sound like my high school volleyball coach. Okay, you benched me.
I'm benching
And you're
you.
gonna bench me like she benched me. So
You know how much I love volleyball, especially anime volleyball, but I think we're going to have to bench Zeus as the nomination here. I'm sorry. Paul's
have
right.
fun waking up as geese.
But that only frees you up
Fine,
to
if
say,
I wake up as a goose, I don't have to go to fucking work.
Amanda, that frees you up for one nomination. Go ahead.
Okay,
Give us
great.
one
Oh,
other
I
thing.
can't wait for my fucking what freaking loser do I want to throw in the ring? Okay.
Just think of another old person who you were terrified as when you were 6. Which geriatrics were lining up in your front door to beat your ass?
No, I honestly I feel like maybe mine are gonna fall into the same trap as like, oh, they're ageless, like they don't have a certain age. I guess I'll just throw in my heart's not in it, but I'll just put his name on my lips. King Trident.
Triton.
From
What?
Little Mermaid?
No, now you have to pick another one.
Not Trident.
It's Triton. He carries a trident, but his name is Triton.
Hey.
And also, he's
Amanda,
like Zeus's brother or something.
Amanda already said her heart wasn't in it.
Now.
Amanda, he's Zeus's brother.
I can't do this. Okay, I guess I'll just go with Liam Neeson.
You know what? That seems fitting to me. That seems fitting. We're going Liam Neeson. Holy shit.
Come full circle.
I love how we mentioned earlier in the podcast, like, we're going to say Liam Neeson, but we're not going to actually say him on the list. And here he is.
Oh my god. I'm gonna pass out.
Okay. No explanation needed. Let's fucking take a break. Let's look at this list of 12. When we're back, we're going to see what that was all about. Maybe learn about Zeus on the break. I don't know. But let's take a break, and we'll rank a top 5 afterwards. We'll be back. Zeus, sir. Zeus.
Yes?
I got word from the people of Earth. They think you're old.
Well, then the campaign is working.
The campaign, it's I don't know if it's you want to be old to these people. It doesn't sound like a really great plan, sire.
Yes, there's a girl on Earth. I'm her grandfather.
Okay.
And I want to make sure my gifts get to her in time for Christmas.
How are we gonna do that? I don't understand. Is there some sort of delivery service that we can use? Maybe some sort of affiliate link of some sort?
Yes, pull my finger.
Honk.
Oh my goodness, I just got a Christmas present from Grandpa Zeus, and it came so quick using the Amazon affiliate link with Podcavern.
Oh,
Thanks, Unky Zeus. Love ya. You don't terrify me at all. Please stop making it thunder.
God's gotta do what a God's gotta do.
Podcavern.com.
Top five.
Hey everyone, we are back. We are ready to rank some old people who could kick some ass. I'm very excited. So we just made a list of 12, which I'm sending through the chat right now. We have a responsibility to see who is the better ass kicker here. So here's the list. We have Jackie Chan, Robert Freeman from the Boondocks. We have, I'm saying Old Man Logan, but it's Wolverine. You know what I'm talking about. His old version. Jane Fonda, Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, Sylvester Stallone, Alfred Pennyworth, Uncle Iroh from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Timpson. We have Jessica Lange from American Horror Story. Kind of, a bunch of her characters, but in one series here. We have Jason Voorhees. And somehow, out of all the odds put against him, Liam Neeson made the list.
How did he do it?
I don't know. He came for us.
He has a specific set of skills.
Yes. This is Taken 4? How many Taken movies are there? Does anyone know? 3 movies?
There's enough now.
There's enough. All right. Let's go ahead and star some nominations. And what this means is we are going to star nominations that aren't our own for further consideration to make it into the top 5. So we'll go around a circle and star a nomination that isn't one of your own. And we'll start with Kristine.
Okay, I'm gonna say from a I don't know the word I'm looking for. Anyways, I'm gonna say Rick Sanchez.
Okay.
I thought it was a good nomination. I think out of all of these people, the one person that I would be like, as far as much as I know them, because some characters I don't really know super well, this one I would be scared of.
Fair enough. Let's go with Paul. A star nomination that isn't one of your own.
Jane Fonda, right away.
Excellent. Amanda.
Yep.
I would like to give my nom to Jason Voorhees. Because I think there's something about, it's like, oh yeah, that guy's a mass murderer. Like, he only knows how to solve with violence.
Yeah.
So
I thought you were going to go a way different angle with that. And I think over the past couple months, I have it sort of locked into my head now that everything you say is going to be horny.
Oh.
And I thought that's where you were going.
You thought she was going to say Jason Voorhees fucks?
I was like, oh boy.
Does Jason Voorhees fuck?
Oh,
no,
absolutely.
the opposite. He sees fucking and he has to stop it now.
That's right.
Because he's jealous that he can't do it anymore.
Killed.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess he can't. I don't know. You know what? I was thinking about this on the break.
Yeah.
With my nomination of Jason Voorhees. I referred to him as a zombie a lot. I don't think he's a zombie. He's more of a Frankenstein.
Right.
Because in part 6, he was dead, and then he got awoken by lightning, as we all know.
As we're all
familiar
Who
with the
shot
scene
the lightning?
in question.
Someone old, I bet.
Yes, some ageless piece of shit. I'm thinking. I came down so hard on what is the age of a god? What is the expiry date of a god, so that we can make sense of Zeus's relative age. And if we look at when Jason Voorhees was first killed, I mean, he'd be like in his 40s maybe, and then he becomes a Frankenstein.
Are you pulling him out?
I might be retracting my nomination. And I would like to ask the council if I could submit another one.
It's unheard of to do.
Has this ever happened?
This has never happened in the second half of Ranked before.
Can I just get a nomination in, please?
No, well, no. Because
I'm sorry, but the other one that I am hoping to submit is the one that could have been accused of pandering.
Okay, let's hear it.
And I think that everybody would be on board.
Okay.
I think I know what it is.
This motion.
Okay. Let's take a pause here because I really want to say this has never happened in the history of Ranked before.
I think for that reason we should allow it.
But because it's Paul's first time and we want to treat him well in the pod cavern, and you guys don't know, Jason Voorhees means a lot to Paul. This is a big deal to him.
He really does. I have Kane Hodder's autograph sitting on my shelf right up there of zombie Jason Voorhees, signed by the guy who played him. Jason Voorhees means a lot to me.
All right, fuck it. Paul, in the first time ever in 104, 5 episodes, I don't even know, we're doing it. Give us another nomination.
All right. My new submission is Gran Torino.
I knew it.
All right. Okay.
From My Hero Academia.
Love him.
And I was thinking of the Clint Eastwood movie, Gran Torino.
Initially as well, I was like, oh.
That's the one you thought we were going to all be on
That's
board
the
with.
one, but
Guys, we've all been on a My Hero Academia binge for my sake.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever submit Clint Eastwood because as much as I love many of his early movies from the 60s, Clint Eastwood is a racist piece of shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I'd rather go with young, not young.
Cute little old man superhero guy.
Very fast.
In a mustard yellow suit.
Cool mask.
Based on Yoda, but cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Give us the Cliff Notes version of Gran Torino for the people who don't know My Hero Academia and what this hero is all about.
So a little bit of Cliff Notes on My Hero Academia. There's a young boy named Izuku Midoriya, Deku, who lives in a universe where basically everybody has superpowers. There's a very small population that of people who don't have superpowers, and he's one of them. He doesn't have a quirk, as they call it, but he does have the spirit of a hero, and he's able to show this to the greatest superhero in the world, All Might, and All Might decides he's going to pass his power down to Deku, and then Deku, with the true spirit of a hero, can become the world's greatest hero. And so over the course of the show, while Deku is training, at one point he goes to train under the tutelage of Gran Torino, who used to train All Might. Now, All Might is like the #1 greatest superhero in the world, and he is terrified of Gran Torino because Gran Torino is an old man that whips ass. And when we meet him, he's got like rocket powers in his feet, and he can bounce around the room faster than the human eye can see and beat the shit out of the young child who really just wants his help. And that's pretty much him. He's
he's still
not
a
quite
superhero.
retired.
Like he's still
He's still a
protects
superhero,
people.
and he's still out there helping people.
Yeah.
I love
He was
that.
able. There's these like super genetic monsters called Nomu that are like really, really big deal. Like they are
Invincible.
like it's huge when they show up. And Gran Torino was able to take on one by himself.
Which is a big deal in the show.
Yeah, despite his advanced age.
So Amanda, since we
Yes.
just did the unthinkable,
Yes.
and now Gran Torino has replaced Jason Voorhees on the list,
Yes.
what are you choosing as your starred
Jackie
nomination?
Chan.
Okay.
Good call.
Okay. All right. For myself, I want to, and I'm not doing this for pandering, and I'm not doing this to just get into the good graces of one person, but I think Sylvester Stallone would be actually a pretty good star, at least to talk about further on this list, because that guy is pretty cool, and he's old, and I think he could still kick some pretty big ass. So here's a star. I think Kristine silently agrees with me here.
Yes.
Silently.
Thank you for the star.
welcome.
We've got a lot of fictional characters, so it's nice to see when the current live humans who would actually has physics to worry about and not
Sure.
powers working. So I like that
So
we
it's-
got a couple of them.
Interesting, because the stars that we have so far, and I'll just recap here, is we have Jackie Chan, Rick Sanchez, Sylvester Stallone, and Jane Fonda. And so those are the four.
Only one is
Yeah, and like plenty of real people here. But that said, like I would like to open it to the floor to anybody now to fight for anything that it could be one of your own if you want, or we can motion to cut something if you really, really want to as well.
But we need top 5. We've only got 4 starred. Gasp.
Is there any others that you guys are like, I really think this person should make the list?
Well, I could submit a couple that I think don't quite stack up with the 4 that we've already starred.
Okay.
As much as I think Robert Freeman is a badass, Kristine sort of only half remembers him.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it seems like I might be the only person who sort of knows what
Sure.
he's about. So I don't think anybody's going to choose him. I think if we're looking at sort of like strong, like old women fighting the power, Jane Fonda is going to be my pick every day, and I gave her my star immediately. I don't know if I want to put Ann Timpson in the
That's
bracket
fair.
up there with everybody.
Maybe Paul, to go on what you're saying, maybe it feels like the person we're going to be putting in is someone who has historically shown that they can kick ass on a number of occasions.
I see.
So maybe it's like cutting out Ann Timpson in that this was an incredibly heroic move, but we're looking for someone that's going to kick your ass 7 days a week.
Sure. I see.
And if we know anything about old British women, it's that a lot of them get killed just by a especially cold winter. So
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I like the idea of, she did an incredible thing. I mean, stopping 6 robbers, no joke. That's no joke.
Yeah, she's a
at
superhero.
For sure. But I do like the idea that it's like, they have a bit of a history or a continued ass kicking. That could add to it. So I'm fine with Ann Timpson, I think, leaving the list too.
I love you, Ann, and I'm sorry that I said I hope you get guillotined.
She's coming for you. She's going to bring
She
your
can
door.
try. I live up 3 flights of stairs. She's never going to make it.
Oh. Well, her purse, she can chuck her purse 3 flights up, I think. So watch out.
What? I'm just going to be at the top of the stairs?
Who knows? You don't know how Ann Timpson thinks. I'm curious. We don't actually have, I guess we don't have much of a just solely mental ass kicker, eh? Just looking at this list here.
Jessica Lange's characters are kind of that. I would argue that. But I don't want to be the person here who's like, my nominations. But if you've seen any of her, it's not like there's ever many scenes where she physically beats people. She has the power to, and the ability, but also she plays more of a mental game and tortures with that in her seasons. So I could throw her in that. I think based on what I've heard from Amanda that maybe Uncle Iroh does that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. I can't speak to that, but it sounded like he was very wisdomous and mental fucky until he became physical.
I don't know if he fucked anyone with his mental like, I mean, I don't know if he fucked anyone in general, but I don't know if he like
he
tried
has
to
a son.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. But I don't know if he like intentionally mind fucked someone, you know, like trying to mess with their heads, because he was a very honorable individual.
And I think that's why I brought in the you can kick someone's ass in a good way. Like Zuko's character development would have never happened were it not for Uncle Iroh sort of giving him a hard time about the man he was becoming.
Zuko's a character in Avatar?
Yes, Zuko is essentially the main antagonist in Avatar, and he's trying to capture the Avatar to bring back honor to himself because his father has banished him from the Fire Nation until he captures the Avatar.
Okay, I thought that we were talking about Danny Zuko from Grease for a second.
Oh, we are.
Okay.
So I feel like he does. It's like ass kicking for good, in the same way that Jane Fonda ass kicks for good.
Well, Uncle Iroh also can actually kick ass too and fight, which is kind of
fire.
The other end, with fire and shit. And he's jacked. So,
counterpoint.
Yep.
If we've got one spot left, I feel very strongly that it should go to Alfred Pennyworth.
Okay, so here we are starring stuff, and then maybe we can pit them against each other. So I'm going to star Uncle Iroh and Alfred Pennyworth, and maybe we can find a little hole in our list over here. Because I feel really strongly about Logan as well. Like Wolverine, that guy has a long history of ass kicking, and from Logan the movie and the comic, he's a fucking beast.
It's true, and if we're thinking of old man Logan, I'm with you for sure. When I think of Wolverine, I don't think of. I included him basically just on like, oh yeah, no, he just happens to be like 200 years old. He happens to be like a 200-year-old guy. Thank you, Kristine.
Thank you, Kristine.
I'm Googling him because I don't really know
so
him.
I can, in good faith, include him on the list. Not only is he old, he whips shit. I think of Alfred Pennyworth as an old man. I don't necessarily think of Wolverine as an old man.
Interesting. Because I would include Logan only in his old man state, I guess, because it goes back to like, well, even if he's 100 years old, he's because of a regeneration factor, blah, blah, blah. He's actually like really young and, you know, whatever. But later on, he is old and he still kicks ass. So I would include that aspect of him. But you're right, Alfred Pennyworth, when I think of him, I think of an old guy.
And the other thing is I think this is a group that is giving a lot of weight to the mental ass-kicking angle of it. And Alfred Pennyworth is still the only person who can sass Batman without getting punched in the face. So
this is true. We've starred Alfred. Okay, we don't have to.
I know. I guess we're just talking to talk at this point.
But it's good. I mean, this conversation will come out later as well. So with that point, I guess Logan probably wouldn't make the list then. When we think of Wolverine, we only think of his younger state.
I didn't know there was old man Logan personally.
It's the best version of him.
either.
But even young man Logan is 180 years old. So
okay, I'm willing to get Logan. I guess I think he probably on this list kicks some of the most ass. He tears people up.
Yeah, for me, if it's a decision between the two of them, if I had to choose between Logan and Alfred, I would choose Alfred because he's funnier.
Yeah, let's do that.
He's got jokes.
I like a jokey man. So we have Jackie Chan, Rick Sanchez. This is already ridiculous that we're pitting these people against each other. Sylvester Stallone, Alfred Pennyworth, Jane Fonda, and Uncle Iroh.
And Liam Neeson.
Nope.
And not Liam Neeson.
I saw like a freaking video of somebody just posting pictures of Liam Neeson peeing himself in every picture that he's with other people in. Have you seen this?
No. What?
I don't know.
Excuse me?
Yeah. He's just always has like he wet his pants in like so many pictures. I'm pretty
Doesn't sound like a
sure.
tough guy to me. Although maybe he feels guilty after he kicks ass and then he pees. I don't know.
I Google Liam Neeson pee.
Yeah, do it.
Liam
Pee pants.
Neeson's unapologetic pants pissing, a thread.
Yeah.
A thread?
Yeah. I saw a TikTok about this. So when you say like Liam Neeson's gonna kick your ass, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm picturing now.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's so
What the
funny.
fuck, man?
I don't know what it is. A part of me thinks maybe he like drinks and can't hold it. I can't speak to it. I'm not speaking negatively about it. I'm just saying this is all I
just
think of these days.
love the idea of Liam Neeson on set and they have to change. He has to change his pants every single shot because he can't keep it in.
Aww.
Poor guy. Gran Torino. Now that he's on the list, do we feel that he should be starred for further consideration? With this company, anyways. Of course, I think it's a great nomination. But with this company, what are we thinking here?
I like him. I mean, he scares the strongest, most powerful person in that universe, right?
The number one hero, All Might.
For now.
The symbol of peace.
For now.
For now.
Well, you're caught up. You know he's not the number one hero
He's
anymore.
not, no.
I mean, that's pretty evident pretty quickly on, I think. But Amanda,
Yeah.
thoughts? As a huge My Hero Academia fan, I'd like
true.
to hear your thoughts.
I'll give you both of our thoughts. Me and my boyfriend Todoroki.
She's holding a Todoroki plushie for those who can't see, which is everyone but us.
Anyways, I do like Gran Torino. I guess it's like, and I think I'm now in this mindset of I feel like I am in the camp of like I'm standing by my nominee, but just because they're the one that between Gran Torino and Uncle Iroh and Alfred Pennyworth, I most envision Uncle Iroh, but I also be like that's my viewing experience in POV that's given me that. If Gran Torino gets on the board, that's great. I just don't know that he has this big enough role in the show for me to like he is a supporting character, and I feel like in comparison with the other 4 nominees we have starred, they are leading characters, and I think we're now down to 3 supporting characters that are made badass by their ability to naysay the strongest person in their respective universes.
I think I can go on top of that here. Is to me, Gran Torino is a badass, 1000%, scares the strongest hero, whatever it is, and it's shown in the anime that he kicks ass. He doesn't get too much screen time compared to all the rest of these nominations that we have here. I mean, some of them are real people, but the thing is, like, we don't get to learn enough about him. And if we're getting into the top 5 list here, I think I'd like to, I don't know, dig my teeth into some like character development of some sort. And with Gran Torino, we only get a snippet of that because there's so many heroes in My Hero Academia, and they don't spend too long in any particular supporting character, I think.
Gran Torino taught more of All Might's background more than we learned anything about, I think, Gran Torino's background.
We learned that he can take on a Nomu by himself.
Yes.
Listen, Paul, you're the one who swapped out Voorhees.
He captured Kurogiri, the Portal Man.
Yes, we all know. We all know.
One of the main members of the League of Villains.
Yes. The purple cloud boy.
He sends Deku to the grocery store.
That's right. Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
He taught Deku that Deku is a fish treat.
Yes, in the microwave.
Yes.
In the microwave. He's a microwavable fish treat.
This is really bizarre now. Like if I
I would
listened to this
He wears
podcast,
his superhero costume at home, which is
Guys,
badass.
guys, if I listened to this podcast 3 weeks ago, I would be like, what the fuck are they talking about for 15 fucking minutes?
I don't know if we're selling My Hero Academia very well.
I would say, Paul, of Alfred and Gran Torino, I would take Alfred.
I would also
over-
take Alfred
Me
over
too.
Gran Torino.
I would also take Alfred.
All right.
But I'll say that if it's between like Uncle Eero and Alfred, I'm also taking Alfred.
Yeah, I would take Alfred there too because I don't know Avatar.
Well, I'd have to hear the rest before I completely. I think Uncle Iroh is amazing, but let's recap one last time. I think we have everything that needs to be starred. So that's Jackie Chan, Rick Sanchez, Sylvester Stallone, Alfred Pennyworth, Jane Fonda, and Uncle Iroh. That's 6. We just need to cut 1 off this list. It sounds like Uncle Iroh is pretty close to the chopping block. But how about we do maybe... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, let's just cut Rick Sanchez so that we can piss off that subsection of terrible people.
Oh, but I like Rick Sanchez on this list. How about we do locks? And locks are unanimous. I'll essentially just say every single nomination that we starred, and locks are the ones that will most likely make it into the top 5 list. It's just a way for us to narrow it down, and it has to be unanimous. If it's not unanimous, we just move on and we can just discuss from there. So is Jackie Chan a lock or no lock?
Lock.
Lock. Okay. Rick Sanchez, lock or no lock?
Lock.
Lock? You don't have
Lock.
to. Okay.
Objectively, he stomps ass. There's no question.
Objectively, he stomps ass.
I don't know what to tell you.
Sylvester
I don't like that I'm having to keep saying like kicks ass over and over again. I'm trying to find other verbs for it.
Cute.
Till eventually we get to eats ass.
We'll get there.
That's a different podcast. Top 5.
That's your podcast.
Yeah.
Save it
And
for the
it's my
cock to go.
hair every Friday.
That can be a crossover episode. Top 5 people you want to eat your ass. Tongue and Paul teaming up.
Just talk for 2 hours about ass eating.
I mean, I could talk for 3.
Is it people whose ass I want to eat, or people that I want to eat my ass?
Save it for the cast.
Save it.
Yeah.
We could go both ways.
Yeah. I think it would be a mutual ass eating because fairsies.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for that episode. Sylvester Stallone eats ass? No eats ass.
No, we're doing locks or not locks.
Locks or no locks? Sorry, I'm
Loxy
sorry.
eats ass.
Are we locking him or no?
I want it. Locky Balboa.
That's really funny.
Nice.
That's really funny.
Thanks. But I'm
Paul?
the only one who said lock.
Oh, I said lock. Yeah, lock
Thank
Sylvester.
you.
Who are the other names?
The others are Alfred, Jane, and Uncle Iroh.
And we're trying to cut down to 5.
Yeah, but I just want to. This is just to gauge interest. So just try to throw everyone else to the side here. And how does your gut reaction feel about Sylvester Stallone making this list?
About Sylvester Stallone being in the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, lock.
Okay. Alfred Pennyworth, lock or no lock?
I'd lock.
Lock.
I'm no lock, but I honestly don't think you'll convince me on this. Because I don't have the history with the character, and it's like going up against someone I know versus someone I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
That's
Jane
okay.
Fonda for sure is a lock.
Yeah, Jane Fonda's a lock
that,
for sure.
That seems like a lock. Okay, so it's kind of what we thought from the beginning. It's definitely Alfred versus Uncle Iroh. Paul, give us your final thoughts on Alfred Pennyworth to sell it to the group here.
So a little bit has been made about Alfred Pennyworth being a side character and his badassery being relative to Batman, and how, much in the same way that for Gran Torino, it was sort of, we know about his strength relative to All Might and because of All Might. And I think that Alfred is able to stand by himself. We've seen that in the comics. We've seen that in movies. We've seen that in the maybe one of the greatest cartoons of all time, Batman the Animated Series. Alfred had a couple episodes where he went on adventures by himself, still as an old man, and was still, swiping ass all over the place.
Swiping ass.
Put another verb on the board.
Swipe or no swiping?
He was like, we know that Alfred Pennyworth can crush shit all over the board. And I think that, one of the, quite possibly the one superhero who is held in the highest esteem in all of Western comics canon, Batman is held in higher esteem than Superman, Spider-Man, anybody. That, Alfred can not only stand, like, as a sass master and ass kicker, like, in Batman's team, but also on his own accord puts him over the edge for me.
Counterpoint, Amanda, thoughts?
Counterpoint as in, like, defense of Uncle Iroh, or...
Yeah, give me your pitch on Uncle Iroh to sell it to Kristine and I. For me, I'm totally on the fence. I love both of these characters. Probably.
And then I have a suggestion for afterwards.
Zeus?
I think...
You want to kiss.
What?
Your suggestion is that they should kiss. I know.
Yes, they should kiss. Everyone kiss each other.
I guess for me, Uncle Iroh was just such the heart of the series in a lot of ways, and he kicks ass by, I don't know. It's hard to describe a character that it's like when I see them, I'm just like, oh, because now I think because we've gone down this tunnel and we've compared so many characters, I've honestly become a little lost with it all on what I consider ass kicking. It's just kind of like a labyrinth in my mind. So, I don't really feel like fighting for him, to be honest. I just don't. Honestly, like, I love him, but I also, like, I think the things I love about him are, I just can't put into words right now. And so I don't really want to be forced to.
And we're not forcing you to do anything on this show. So that is...
Do it!
Yeah.
Though, I think I can speak on both of these characters, and maybe I can turn this around to the things that you like about Uncle Iroh. Alfred and Uncle Iroh are actually pretty similar in many, many ways. They inspire, and they both do positive ass kicking, as well as real ass kicking as well. So, like, for Alfred, he also mentally kicks Bruce Wayne's ass too. Mm-hmm. He will always go toe to toe with him mentally and be like, hey, you know what you're doing is fucked up, and always call him out for it. Paul's already mentioned the time that he actually physically kicked ass as well, and I think that really matches with Uncle Iroh too. Like, they both are honorable men in their own ways, can stand on their own, have very solid beliefs, and inspires others. So I think they're pretty similar. And with your argument, Paul, I think I'm pretty happy with Alfred to make the list, I think. Kristine, what's your suggestion? Kissing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, I was going to say that, like, I don't know, the two people who know both characters kind of have a discussion between them, like Paul and Tuong, because I kind of know Alfred. We had just, like, I thought about this, I did a little bit of Googling, and I said, yep, I like Alfred. Like, I had him on my list as well. I don't know Avatar, so I can't really speak to that, but I've done my Googling just now during this whole thing, and I'm like, yeah, no, he seems like he's wise, and he probably mentally messes with people, and oh, look, he is buff, and here's a gif of him doing a one-handed pull-up in a jail cell. What the fuck? That's dope. And I don't know. I haven't seen any of it, so I can't speak to it. And I only barely know about Alfred kicking ass. When I thinking of Alfred, I think of Michael Caine, so I can't. Michael Caine. So, yeah, I would leave it up to you guys to figure it out.
Now, I would take that suggestion on board myself, but there is one caveat here, which is that I have never watched Avatar.
Oh, I thought you had. Okay, then Tuong, you're the tiebreaker.
Wow.
No, my familiarity with it is basically through just generally being a geek and knowing sort of all of the beats of the show just by diffusion, by being exposed to it on the internet.
Paul, you should watch this show.
It's so good.
Yeah, probably, but
you should watch this show.
I go to work every day, I get ground down for 8 hours, and then I just want to come home and put on The Office and basically turn into ooze in my bed.
Hold on, everybody, shut up. Tongue. Close your eyes. Close your eyes, both of them. Okay, Alfred and Uncle Iroh go into a room together, into the Coctagon, and they start to fight. Who comes out winning?
Oh, well, if it's a fight, it's Uncle Iroh.
He can firebend.
Because he can firebend.
Oh.
But
Alfred has a gun.
Alfred has a shotgun.
We have to. I'm just trying to go back to the topic of the show, which is ass kicking. That's the important part, not the character I like the most. And you know what? I think I'm gonna lean towards Alfred only because Alfred has a more rich history in comics, and there's more to pull from. And there's it kind of goes back to like there is the history of ass kicking, where Uncle Iroh, I can't stress this enough, is it's just such a fantastic character in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and we see snippets of him ass kicking when he needs to. It's very close to me, or close, but I think I would lean Alfred on this one.
Yay!
But
sorry,
I was
Parker.
always under the impression that you did see the show, Paul. So this is news to me.
No, I know things about things. I know about the guy whose girlfriend turned into the moon.
Don't spoil it. I want to watch it.
Sorry.
Here is our final. I'm going to message it to the chat here. Our final 5 is Jackie Chan, Rick Sanchez, Sylvester Stallone, Alfred Pennyworth, and Jane Fonda. This is really interesting because there's more non-fictional characters than fictional characters, which I was not expecting on this list.
I think fictional is hard because everybody would have had to watch that piece of media.
True.
You know what I mean? Versus a real person's history is fact, and it's almost common knowledge.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I don't know.
But if like a lot of these people, you have to follow their careers, right? So some people be like Jackie Chan who? Sylvester
Nobody's
Stallone?
ever said Jackie Chan who.
I hope not. I don't want to be friends with them.
No.
Well, it's just because they got his last name wrong. They thought it was Jackie Chan who.
Okay.
Thought he was related to Hu Jintao.
Number 5. What is number 5? We're going to work from 5 to 1.
Alfred Pennyworth.
Wow.
I'm okay with that.
He's the supporting. All the other 4 are leading characters in their live/series.
3 of them aren't even characters.
Then in their lives, they're fucking leading characters.
In their lives, they're leading
Or
characters.
they're A-listers.
They're A-listers. Like you're not going to see a Sylvester Stallone movie because like another actor's in it, you know?
That's right.
You're going to see.
You're not going to go see Spy Kids 3D because, you know, Spy Kids are in it.
You're going to go see it because fucking Sylvester Stallone's in it.
The question is not old people who are famous. It's old people who could kick your ass.
Still.
Wasn't
Sylvester Stallone in Guardians of the Galaxy one of them?
He was. Yeah, he came in at the end.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a moment for me in the movie theater. I was like, anyways, back to Alfred
There's also
Pennyworth.
like Mary Poppins references in that one.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
The Marvel movie's all for you.
She should have been.
Guys, Mary Poppins is 56.
Okay,
That's the reason
say,
she's not on this list.
Then who else would be up? Paul, who in your eyes is in the 5th place?
Number 5, between Jackie Chan, Rick Sanchez, Jane Fonda, and Sylvester Stallone.
If not Alfred Pennyworth, who would be in the 5th?
Jane Fonda. If it's about ass kicking, yeah. If we're looking at ass kicking in terms of like a fight, I immediately start Jane Fonda for a reason. I think she's kicking ass on political fronts and has been basically her entire life. So I'm certainly happy to rank her higher. We know my feelings on Rick Sanchez.
But your feelings of Rick Sanchez are more about the fans of Rick and Morty.
It's true. It's not really about Rick Sanchez himself. In 5th, I would put either Jane Fonda or Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone, yeah, right.
I'd put him below Jackie Chan for sure.
I'll put him below Jackie Chan, but only because I'd put Jackie Chan on top.
Ooh.
Jackie Chan has to go higher than 5. That's
like to me. I think Jackie Chan, Sylvester Stallone, and then the rest of you. Yeah.
Wait, from 5 to 1? You mean Jackie Chan?
I'm going I'm going 1 to 5 there.
Oh,
1 to 5.
We don't do that on rank, Kristine. You know
I'm
this.
doing that because I truly don't think that in this list Sly should be at the bottom.
Sorry, who should be at the bottom?
Not Sylvester.
No.
Who I will refer to now as Sly because
Sly.
Sylvester
Okay.
is
Sure,
tough
sure.
and he goes by Sly.
I see Alfred or Jane at 5.
Yeah.
5 or 4. Like like I would say Alfred 5 only because it took so long to get him on the list in general. You know, that's the only reason.
But if we are talking pure ass kicking, then Jane would go 5th.
Yeah. Like if we want to say that it's like, oh, who has military training?
Well, we've defined ass kicking in such a vague way anyways,
True.
right? So like if I like political, you'd have to like judge political ass kicking versus Alfred ass kicking, you know what I mean? Like it's a weird territory, but we'd have to judge it based on that. Because that's why Jane's on the list in the first place.
This is as
Alfred
muddled as our
definitely helped
Ontario.
take down his fair share of corrupt politicians.
Yeah.
He fought the Nazis.
Fought the Nazis. And Nazis are bad, as we know. So
They're the worst. Who's worse than a Nazi?
No one I know.
Exactly.
I'm like trying to think. There's a let me think about. Let me challenge you. Top 5 people who are worse than Nazis. No.
Hitler.
Oh, you're forgetting one key thing about Hitler.
He was king of them.
Okay.
Famous king of the Nazis.
If you guys feel that way, then I like again, it's 5 and 4, and I'm not really married to any. I don't really care, I guess.
I mean, we say 5 and 4, but I would have, like, even if Uncle Euro had made the list, I would put him above Sylvester Stallone.
Interesting. Okay.
But he's not on the list.
True, but he's not on the list.
Where does Sylvester Stallone belong on this list? You're right.
Kristine thinks 2.
Because I do like
think
Alfred
5
more than
or 4.
Sylvester Stallone. If we're really getting down to it.
No, I think Sly could kill Alfred.
Well, you'd be wrong, because Sly Stallone is a boxer, and Alfred is a...
He's not a boxer. He's also a Rambo.
Well, no, he's not. He's an actor.
But he has the guns, arm, and, mechanic.
They're prop guns.
No,
They're not real guns that he has.
no, they're real.
No, they're not.
No, they're
Steve,
real.
Rambo never happened.
Have you watched any montage?
I watched any montage. Yes, I believe one of the topics I wanted to do for this episode was top 5 movie montages.
I know, and we would have been in the
Here
same
we are
exact
talking
fucking
about
conversation.
which of these diaper-shitting geriatrics could beat each other in a fight.
Chop.
Amanda, I want to hear your thoughts. Where does Sly belong on this list? Is he higher than Alfred?
I think I just needed to do more research. I'm just mentally having such a hard time picturing Alfred as anything more than Michael Caine. And that's on me not having
Michael Caine.
And looking at these comments, I'm like, oh yeah, I absolutely see where you guys are coming from. But I think for me, it's like, this is why I would rank Sylvester above Alfred, is because there are people like me who, when they picture Alfred, they picture Michael Caine fucking crying at the grave, being like, I should have done more, Mr. Bain. I should have done more. Like people, they will have that image in their head when they hear Alfred Pennyworth. But when people hear Sylvester Stallone, they're not like, that fucking tool. Like they don't have that image in their mind, that gif in their mind of him being a little bitch.
Jesus.
When I think of Sylvester Stallone,
Oh, no.
I think of him getting his ass beat by Apollo Creed.
How dare
How
you?
dare you?
First of all, he made it all the way to the end of that frickin' match.
Oh, did he win?
Second-
Did he win the fight?
But technically, no. But guess
No,
what?
he didn't win the
He
fight.
went up against the #1 heavyweight champion of the world. And he
lost.
was a nobody. It's about perseverance and resilience.
If
And
Apollo
then
Creed was
when
still alive, he would be on this list instead of Sylvester
when
Stallone.
Apollo said there won't be a rematch, he wanted to fight him again, and Sly gave him his just desserts.
Boom.
But we are talking about
He
Sylvester
didn't ask for
Stallone
a
and
rematch.
not
There
Rocky.
ain't
Let's
gonna
be
be a rematch, and I said I don't want a rematch.
Sorry, Tom, you were trying to bring order.
I'm trying to bring order because we're not talking about Rocky, because if we were talking about Rocky, I'd be like, well, like Rocky tried to kick Cancer's ass in Creed, and that was the whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
But we're not talking about Creed or Rocky. It's Sylvester Stallone.
I just think the name Sylvester Stallone in actor has a greater connection to ass kicking than Alfred Pennyworth.
I agree.
Universally speaking.
Problem being is that Sylvester Stallone's real first name is Michael.
Oh, fuck off.
Michael Stallone. Mike.
I'm gonna make the executive decision. I'm gonna be with the rest of the crew here. Alfred 4, Sylvester Stallone. I would put him 3 though. I'm not putting him any higher than that.
Yeah, Sylvester's 3.
And then it's Jackie Chan versus Rick Sanchez, which is a
see
very
what you
weird
did,
fight.
Tongue. I see what you did. You put your 2 nominations at the top.
I don't think like that on Ranked. You know this,
Yes,
Kristine.
you do.
Look what he did.
No, I don't.
Sneaky.
I mean, we can move it around. I don't. Well, they're clearly the best on this list, so we couldn't. No. We know how Paul feels about Rick Sanchez, but I would again like to remind you, it is not the Rick and Morty fans we are ranking. It is Rick Sanchez.
Rick Sanchez is more likely to kill himself than he is to kill Jackie Chan.
Okay. That's a fair topic.
Okay.
And if there's anything I know, it's that suicide is not badass.
No, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's dark, but it's true.
So Jackie Chan is number 1 for me between these two.
I would also put Jackie Chan number 1. I think because it's interesting though, because I know we got into the world of fictional and non-fictional, but there is something about like Jackie Chan that feels kind of synonymous with ass kicking.
Mm-hmm. With authentic,
where Rick Sanchez, to his, to Paul's point, is kind of synonymous with being a fucking asshole. And we know
that Jackie Chan is like famously really awesome and nice.
And like the character is so smart, and he's like an awesome character and kicks a ton of ass, is, as Kristine said, has the mental intelligence, makes all these inventions, is the smartest man in the world, can also kick ass with his fists. But with all of that, he's just become incredibly lonely and hates himself. Yeah. And I think if the best person whose ass you can kick is yourself, you don't deserve to have the number 1 spot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love that.
Send a message on the behalf of positivity.
I will say, though, just so we don't sweep this under the rug here, and I don't know enough about this to make a full statement, but I do know, as someone who loves Jackie Chan in his movies, he's really much only loved in the Western side of the world. Back at home in Hong Kong, not as loved anymore, has controversial thoughts on government and Hong Kong government and that type of stuff. It's a little dicey over there. I won't get into it. I'm just saying, if we're going to nominate, I just want to put it out there for people who are like, well, this is how I feel about him.
I mean, if we're going there, Sylvester Stallone is an accused sex predator.
And it kind of goes back to just
he got off.
We're going to just
that's what I heard, is he got off, and that was the issue.
But we'll just bring it back to like we're purely, this list is ass kicking, and if we leave it at that, then we can try to disassociate from everything else. And with that, I do like the idea that Rick Sanchez, he kicks his own ass more than other people in many ways. And Jackie Chan, the cartoon in Jackie Chan Adventures, can totally kick Rick Sanchez's ass.
He's younger than 65 though.
Yeah, and we're also differentiating that is a fictional Jackie Chan who is hunting for like magic talismans.
And they're cool, okay?
Really cool.
I'm not saying they're not cool, but I'm saying that Jackie Chan in real life doesn't have magic rooster powers.
It's true. And if we were doing Jackie Chan Adventures, then I would vote for his uncle in Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Okay, all right. I think we got our list here. We have at number 5, Jane Fonda. Number 4, Alfred Pennyworth. Number 3, Sylvester Stallone. Number 2, Rick Sanchez. And number 1, Jackie Chan. Holy shit. These are the top 5 old people who could kick your ass. We're the part of the show where we're just going to list some honorable mentions. The rest of old people who didn't make the list. And Kristine, I want you to say all of your honorable mentions right now.
All of them? Okay, I'll read my list. Robert De Niro. I love him. Hurricane Hazel McCallion is the old mayor of Mississauga who is turning 100 years old next month. She got hit by a pickup. Yeah, and she got hit by a pickup truck, and the truck had to go to the shop, and she was fine. She's a tough lady.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was like 95 at that
Holy
point.
shit, that's insane.
Oh, Paul, you're freezing.
She was older than the sun, and she's still kicking, yeah.
Okay, after Hazel, I wrote Gandalf.
Yes, of
felt-
course.
I had Gandalf on my list
I
as
also
well.
had Gandalf on mine.
I can't believe he didn't even get mentioned. That's crazy.
You should have fucking mentioned him then, Tuong. Jesus.
You know what? Okay, I will say Kristine and Paul, I didn't mention him because I was like, oh, he feels like more like a wizard.
Yeah.
Like, he's not an old man.
He feels like more of a wizard.
Is that better than a fucking god?
A wizard is a person.
No, but like, it's like we're just like top 5 people.
You didn't do people, you did gods.
I don't know. He just felt like he was too magical.
You went with a guy who can literally control fire with his mind.
Oh my god, amazing.
And look, he's got too many magical powers. Zeus! You went with Zeus!
And if not Zeus, Triton.
He called him Trident at first.
His vibe just wasn't right for the convo.
For sure, I guess. Kristine, go ahead.
Okay, after Gandalf, I have Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
And then I have Jigsaw from Saw.
Oh,
he'll kill ya.
Shit, fuck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but will he kick your ass?
Mentally and physically, but not in the same room as you unless you're a prop.
Well,
Mentally,
no, not physically. He's an old man in bed dying of cancer.
We're not arguing. These are my honorable mentions. Get off my dick. Okay. Carl Weathers, Apollo.
There it is.
Of course.
And Predator, yeah.
Dumbledore.
Yup.
McGonagall. I went on a Harry Potter kick.
You took
Voldemort.
Yep. Fuck. These are all mine.
Hang on, Amanda, are all of these wizards disqualified for you?
Immediately.
Immediately. I put Tywin Lannister.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking good.
I had him. He was gonna be on my list, but did we ever see him kick ass in the show? Like
In the books he does, I'm sure.
Okay, I haven't read the books. In the show, I've seen him being a jerk and then got shot while taking a shit, and that was pretty much it for me. So
yeah, that's cool. Okay, then I have Gran Torino from My Hero Academia. Not Clint Eastwood.
Not Clint Eastwood.
And then I have Alfred Pennyworth. And then I have Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, fuck, that was mine. Yeah.
Annie Lennox. I just think she'd kick ass.
Annie Lennox.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then I put Cruella de Vil.
Is she over 65?
I guess if you're a dog.
She's a cruel woman, and there's no stopping what she can do. She'll kill a puppy like this. Like, you think she wouldn't hurt a guy?
Kick-ass theme song, too.
And then I have 2 that are just under 65 that I want as honorable mentions, and it's Dolph Lundgren and Giancarlo Esposito, who played
we know.
Gus.
Scariest character in everything.
Various characters in various terrifying characters in again, another Jessica Lange.
Always the bad guy.
Everything he plays, he scares the shit out of me. So
Yeah.
those are my guys.
Thorough list. You took most of mine. That's amazing. Paul, just shout out the rest of your list here.
All right. Well, number 1 on my list is Gran Torino. Number 2 was Princess Kitana of Outworld from Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Because she is 10,000 years old. Then number 3, I had Gandalf. Number 4 was I had Heihachi from Tekken. Number 5 was Jason Voorhees, who is 74 now, but was in his 40s when he died and then became a Frankenstein. Number 6 was Wolverine or Magneto. I chose Wolverine. 7 was Wiley Burp from Fievel Goes West.
Oh,
that's a cute nomination.
The very old dog sheriff. Number 8 was Alfred. Number 9 was Mr. Miyagi. I decided not to go with Mr. Miyagi, specifically because Jackie Chan had already been mentioned, and I was like, well, Jackie Chan played Mr. Miyagi, or I guess the Mr. Miyagi
version.
parallel.
Yeah.
Number 10 was Impa from Legend of Zelda.
Hell yeah. That's a good nomination.
And then the 11th one that I added during this podcast record was Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, that's such a good one. He's kind of Kung Fu Panda's Gran Torino.
Yeah.
In size, stature.
Kung Fu Panda, underrated movie, by the way. Great movie.
It's good.
Great movie.
Great movies. Very anime. Amanda, go ahead. Say the rest of your nominations.
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to throw this guy we know and we love, and Brian Mills.
That would be Liam Neeson's character in the Taken franchise.
Do we love
I thought
him?
you were going to say, we know him, we love him. Icarus.
I did from the original trilogy, Darth Vader.
Okay. Anakin.
The
Sure.
voice actor who does James Earl Jones, I feel like would have been over 60, maybe? When he did the voice? Probably
I don't
not.
know. I'm not sure. He's old, though. Probably not.
Probably not. I guess I just imagine the character was like, at that point, you would have been like an old man.
Your nomination was Anakin's, like, Darth Vader, old knit. Like, he was pretty old.
Yeah, Darth Vader, like old man. And then also, I knew we couldn't do people who had died, so I thought Bill from Kill Bill.
Okay.
Hang on, we couldn't do people who died?
I'm sure.
I thought so.
I don't know if we made that rule. I think we could have.
Maybe I just made up.
I submitted somebody who was literally a corpse.
I
Where was that rule when you said Zeus?
He's all knowing and powerful.
And terrifying.
He's watching you now, and he's like, "Oh,
maybe
you."
I may have just made up that rule in my head then, but David Carradine.
David Carradine's character, yeah.
Carradine's, yeah,
Oh,
he's
Bill,
cool.
yeah, Kill Bill.
And that's your entire list, Amanda?
And then the ones that already got said and disqualified.
Icarus, I love that.
Icarus, famous dead child. Icarus.
Okay, most of mine have been said. Yoda, regular Yoda would kick ass.
Sure.
Yeah, let's qualify it. It's regular Yoda.
Regular Yoda. Old man Yoda.
Old man Yoda.
Sir Ian McKellen could kick
Great.
ass. I'm sure he could. Kick your ass in a game of chess or something like that. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Back in the day, I said Dumbledore, McGonagall. I said Master Roshi from Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Maybe.
Too horny.
Too horny. That wasn't a ground rule, though. Professor X was one of them. Let's see here. I had a couple real people, but I'll get into them. Like Schwarzenegger would probably still kick some ass.
Yeah.
I had someone. I'll do two quick stories. Willie Murphy is an 82-year-old bodybuilder. When someone tried to break into her home, she literally kicked their ass by like throwing a table at them and beat the shit out of them until the cops came. And when the ambulance came, she said, "He tried to break into my house, but he's hurt. So can you help him?" So that was her.
Poised.
Which I thought was awesome. And then I had Han Solo from Star Wars Force Awakens. And I had a dishonorable mention. Where was it? Oh, yes. Bruce Willis. Dishonorable mention to Bruce Willis. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Don't like
Man's
him.
not wearing his masks.
Doesn't wear his masks.
Got his ass kicked by someone at the CVS, that's for sure.
That's right. Don't like him.
He said sorry.
I don't like him.
Paul,
fine.
you are a Willis defender to the day you die, aren't you?
No, not really. The guy looks like a testicle, and fuck it. Like, wear a mask, everybody. I'm fucking sick of you.
Right? And my last person who could probably kick ass, but I'm saying it because she would just break hearts. Betty White.
Yep, I almost thought about it. I almost put her. I get that.
Yeah.
I think she could. I thought of an extra one in this chat. I'm so sorry.
Do it.
The character from Breaking Bad, Mike Ehrmantraut.
Oh, that guy. Yes.
The old guy who like killed everybody. Anyways, he's a very sweet guy. I like him a lot, but I think he could kick your ass.
Had I gone with real people, what I should have done is gone with a real life Alfred Pennyworth, who is Christopher Lee.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Saruman from Lord of the Rings.
Played Saruman, played Dracula, played Scaramanga in Man with the Golden Gun, and was in the British Special Forces during World War II and killed Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave in the director's commentary on The Return of the King, he talks about how he gave Peter direction how he should sound when he's stabbed in the back by Wormtongue because
the exhale.
He knows
Because he
it
knows.
sounds like when you stab a person.
We talked about this on Top 5 Chris's.
Top 5 Chris's. This was Mark's application or whatever, and he said both of these stories.
Funny.
And this is the list where Kristine made the list. Kristine Shadid over here in the pod cavern, and Christopher Lee, same list.
You were on the same list as Christopher Lee?
I know, I'm blessed. I can't believe it happened.
So does this mean we can call you Chris now?
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, then retroactively disqualified, surely.
It's been years.
We would like a re-recording of the Top 5 Chris's podcast.
Yeah, Amanda Parker and I will be submitting a formal motion, to re-record that podcast and have Kristine removed from the proceedings.
Wow. Number 1 was Hans Christian Andersen, if I remember correctly. So
what? Who? Hans Christian Andersen?
Well, just go back and listen to the episode. Well, just go back. We're not talking about that today. We talked about.
I was really pulling for myself there.
Let's reopen every episode Kristine has been on and start disqualifying.
No, this is what always happens to me.
Well, we won't do that right now because I just want to thank the fine people that have joined me today to talk about some real awesome ass kickers. We couldn't have done this episode without you. Kristine Shadid, everyone. Do you have... Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Do you have... I mean, it's weird times. Anything to plug? If you don't have any creative things to plug, just plug something happy in the world, or like a book or a video game or a movie that you love.
Okay, obviously what I love to say to everybody is wear your mask. Stay home unless you have to go out. You are no exception to the rule. I'm so sorry. We all want to get out of this. Be great and help people, and we will. Other than that, weird thing I want to throw out there, and if this resonates with anybody at all, I would love to hear from them. I watched the movie Soul, and it reminded me a little bit of the movie Monkey Bone. If anybody if anybody wants to talk about that at some point, shoot me a tweet.
You and I are gonna have a long talk after this.
Yes! That's it. That's all I wanted. I just wanted Paul to talk to me about Monkey Bone and Soul.
I love Soul. Don't know what Monkey Bone is, but I'll let you.
I must have drafted 4 tweets about this whole thing to try and figure it out. I couldn't.
Paul, thanks so much for being on your very first episode of Ranked.
Oh yeah, sure.
Fun times. Thanks. Your nominations were fantastic. We did a ranked first by letting you throw in another nomination. It was a thrilling episode. Do you have anything to plug for the people at home?
Oh, wouldn't it be fucked if I said no? You know that I do. So I am the host of another podcast on the Podcavern Network that is called The Pen is Mightier. It is an audio erotica and fan fiction competition. Each week we get 3 people to come on, either with erotica that they wrote themselves or found online, and they give dramatic readings of it. There's a couple of bonus guessing games where we test their knowledge of fan fiction tropes. And yeah, it's good, dirty, horny fun. So I think everybody should listen to it. We're only about 13 episodes into our run, so you've got plenty of time to catch up.
Join Paul in the Coctagon.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Amanda, what do you got?
Oh, I got... can I share something that an Uber driver told me the other day would guarantee that I would have a good night's sleep every night.
Parker already told us.
Yeah.
I want to share. So he's like, I always have a good night's sleep. And what I say to myself as I lay in bed is I say, thank you, moon. Thank you, sun. Thank you, stars. Thank you, rain. Thank you, trees. Today was a good day, and tomorrow is going to be even better. Thank you.
Your
Restart.
Uber driver sent you this?
Said this to me as I was pulling up, and I was like, wow.
So when he said thank you, stars, was he saying thank you 5 stars?
Yeah, I think that's what he was getting at.
Okay.
I think that's what he was getting
Okay.
at. But it was yesterday morning, and I got in there. He was blasting Billie Eilish's "Bad Guy," and when I tell you this trip took a turn, it took a turn. It was really good. And then he also got me. This is a great visual bit that no one will appreciate. So this you'll cut it here, Tom. So he was like, I bet I could make your hand go like this. And I was like, okay. And so I put my arm out, and he's like, no, go like this. And then I went like that. And he's like, see, I made your hand go like this.
Guys, you'll never believe, even if I tried to explain it.
You had to have given 5 stars, surely. Surely.
Gosh,
Oh.
did I? Oh.
Man is pretty relentless with
Are you relentless? Because I heard
reviews.
if you give them anything less than 5 stars, I think they get in trouble, is what I heard.
Oh,
You could just
really?
not do anything.
Like anything less than 5 is like not good.
But also
Okay.
you can forget and not do one. I don't think it's gonna
Yeah.
hurt them.
That's right.
It's if they get actively rated 1 star, then maybe they'll get. You're fine. Don't feel bad.
You're fine. You're good. You're good. Don't worry
It's
about
okay.
it. Forget
Oh, she looks so sad. It's okay.
If you're listening, Raj,
Which he
5
might
stars.
be because he sounds like that kind of guy.
5 stars.
Thanks so much, Amanda, for being on the show. You know what? You watch a lot of television. Plug one television show that you want to send positivity in the world right now. Anything you want. Go ahead.
If you want positivity in the world, I'll give you 2, baby. What do you want? If you want live action, Kristine's going to be on it this week. It's Ted Lasso, folks. 10 episodes. You'll fly through, and you will
Yes.
have a great time.
When
Yes,
you
I
say
need to watch
Kristine's
it.
going to be on it this week, Kristine's going to watch it. She's not
She's going to watch
on.
it. She's going to tell you all about it on her.
Be careful, guys. I'm on episode 4 in the background for like a millisecond. You really gotta focus.
And because clearly I care about it a lot for this episode, please watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. Also a feel-good, hopeful show. It'll put good mood in your heart and good light in your life.
Fucking awesome. I love it. Well, thanks everyone for listening to another episode of Ranked. My name is Tuong. You can find the rest of the shows in the Pod Cavern at www.podcavern.com. That's it for today. Let's get out of here and eat some ass. We'll be back
Okay.
next week. Bye, everyone.